My main man Lee Syatt as red with his little fucking
Suge Knight
shirt on. His forehead is matching the redness.
Well, you just gave me you
smoked.
just put all. I didn't even. I see the mistake I make is A, taking things from you, and B, you're like the master. You like place the alpha brain bottle, so I couldn't see how much hash you put in there. You put like the whole chunk of hash in that thing.
Not. This is the problem with this hash was this used to be wax, so I didn't have any place to put this Lebanese in hash, so I put it in this wax thing, and the wax absorbed the hash, absorbed the wax. This is death. People would kill for this fucking recipe right here. Started by the bottom, now we're here. What the fuck? Thursday night, the 8th of September, Jerry Rocha making it happen.
What's happening?
Got his new fucking special coming on Fuse TV.
Yeah.
You're a bad
17th.
motherfucker. When I first
buddy.
met you, you were a little fucking nerdy dude.
I'm still a little
Paso,
nerdy.
getting Chinese food, scared to eat the fortune cookie.
You wouldn't eat a fortune cookie?
It's a joke, Lee. He eats everything, this fucking guy. Me and him were partners in all the Chinese buffets.
It was the best.
That's all we
That's all we do. Fucking wake up, go get
Anywhere
Chinese
we
buffet.
go, anytime we'd work, he'd tell me there's a Chinese place on fucking
They don't have them out here. I love Chinese food buffets. They don't have them.
Yeah.
Is there one? I don't know any in
Who the fuck
California.
are these people too healthy?
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's the problem.
That's
They're
the
too
problem.
healthy. They never fucking do it.
They're too
Texas
self-conscious.
has some wild ass shit.
Dude, Texas can have. There's a place in Texas called either Alibaba or Terra. One of the same owners. It's Middle Eastern food buffet. They have buffets for everything, and it's the fucking best shit. The best hummus you'll ever have. The best.
Let's stop right there, right? Don't come on the show talking about hummus. All right? Talk about anything else. You show up looking like Lennon after you came back from India with bracelets and fucking turbans on your head. Now you want to fucking insult me with Middle Eastern fucking unbelievable.
That's the best.
Do you remember? Like, did you have them when you were growing up, or they new? Because
What?
Chinese buffets? Like how?
Dude,
how
they were
old are
all over
buffets?
Texas when I was a kid, man.
Really?
They were fucking all over Dallas. It was amazing. There was some. Oh, it was a great one.
I never heard of a Chinese buffet till 1979. Wow. Somebody told me that the Maikai on Kennedy Boulevard was a Chinese buffet, and that they put the ribs out. And I went there one time, and it was fucking brilliant.
Oh man.
And I kept going back. Then the thing was to go there before the Giant games. Like that was
Right.
the in thing. People were going to other bars. Me and this little crowd, which even if we didn't go to the Giant game, we'd meet there because somebody always going to the Giant game. And it was kind of empty. It was close to a church, but everybody would go to the other. Who the fuck wants to eat Polynesian food on Sunday at 11:30?
Me.
I do.
Yeah, that sounds
Me.
great.
But I remember one of the funniest times. I know my friend Timmy listens to this. It was with his brother, and I've said this story on the podcast. I mean, you start going to the when you're fucking 15 and you're going to a Polynesian Chinese place. You go in there, you get high, and you bust a waiter's balls. I mean, they fucking hated us. They fucking hated Lee. They fucking hated us.
What did you do to them?
Everything you could imagine. I remember one time we picked up the tray of spare ribs. We're like, why are we going to walk back and forth? This is a waste of time. We're going to kill these things. Because their mistake was they took really good spare ribs and cut them in half.
Like the big bone and spare
The
ribs?
big bone and spare ribs.
Shit.
And they cut them in half, so you'd have to eat 52 of them to get 26 of them. You know what I'm saying? I would eat 9 of them in those days. I didn't give a fuck about my heart. I'm doing blow 3 days. I see a stack of ribs. They're going down. Rice, they had everything. All that. Polynesian, it's Chinese Polynesian, same shit. You know, they have all the fucking things with the red sauces, which I stay the fuck away from.
Me too. I avoid
all
that
shit like the plague.
What's the red sauce?
You know, like that shit you dip in, like the people who
stuff.
get that fried stuff.
Oh,
they
yeah,
call
yeah.
it something.
Is that what they brought me at that Chinese food place we went to at the South Point? Like it wasn't duck sauce. It was supposed to be like duck sauce, but it was like red.
Listen,
weird,
if
sweet
you're
and
out of New
sour.
York,
Yeah.
if you're out of New York, New Jersey, or Boston, you never order duck sauce.
Duck sauce,
They're not going to give it to you.
Oh, out here.
They're not
Okay.
going to give it to you.
I see. I thought you were
It's
saying you can't order
what
everything.
they think duck sauce is. And your duck
completely
sauce
different things.
Is a complete fucking different thing.
The worst one for me is the mustard. There's almost no places you can go. And
Yeah,
get,
they
like,
have
good
the
Chinese-
packages.
They have the packages.
You got to take the
suck.
packages. But listen, you're going to put mustard on what? A fucking dumpling or a spare rib,
Egg
which
roll.
nobody really has.
Golden Chopsticks is all right down there in North Hollywood, right there by me. That's good stuff.
I went in there one night. It was okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to get. What do you get there?
I always get the chicken broccoli with the chicken fried rice combo. It's tremendous. That's really, really good stuff.
You live down by there?
Yeah, well, I live
He
right
lives
on
on the corner.
Yeah, because I live down right there too. There's one I like. I haven't been to Golden Chopsticks, but there's one called China Light.
China Lights is good.
Yeah, I go
China
there.
Lights is
I
good.
go there a bunch.
That's the one by your house. That me and you walked
we went
into
to the
and
Cuban.
walked out.
Yeah, the Cuban place.
And
is
the
right by
Cuban place
yeah.
is even worse.
Is it really?
Oh.
You know what's good though is that Taya Thai, which is right there.
I went there
Taya
tonight.
Thai is really good, and then Noodle Monster is pretty fucking good too. That's
What's
across
Noodle
that bank.
Monster?
It's Chinese and Vietnamese and Thai. It's like a fusion, but it's good. It's all right.
It's okay. There's some.
I ain't walking in there. It's too many countries.
You know what's good? That sushi place is fucking great. Maya
Okay.
Sushi or whatever. That's good shit there.
That's the. He gave me edibles once that were stronger than anything I'd ever had, and I
Right.
puked on that. But I made the mistake of telling him that I had sushi for dinner. So now he calls that sushi place. What is it?
Wholesale sushi.
Wholesale sushi. And I haven't been able to
That's
go
sick.
in. I haven't been able to go in since. It's been like 8 months, and
Oh,
I
it's
like it.
so good,
But now
man.
I just associate it with puking.
Dude, I was the last time I was in Vegas. I was like, I hate being like on the strip after enough times. I'm like, so I went just walking to this Chinese food restaurant that was like I don't know, a little bit outside the strip. It was the weirdest place I've ever been to. They just had trays that were filled with food that they would just circle around the whole restaurant, and it got packed.
That's dim sum, right?
Yeah, and you could just pick like, oh, I want that one, and then let me get that one, and let me get some of that. Like, and it was all kinds of different shit. It went from like normal shit to like chicken chow mein to like this weird squid shit. Like it was just this constant. It was like a fucking train.
Like family style.
Yeah, dude, it was badass. That was nice. That was really good.
There's some really great, whatever you're into, there's
Right, you
always
find something
something.
good.
I feel that Texas, like, even when we used to tour early on, I'm talking, I know you 15 years.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Since 2000 in El
Yeah,
Paso?
yeah.
2000 in El Paso. Wow.
I remember you didn't let me go home too, because remember I wanted to go home early that Sunday morning or whenever Monday morning, and we both were staying a little bit longer, and a Pink Floyd documentary came on VH1, and you're like, "Where are you going? Sit down." Like, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna watch this. Remember that? It was great, man. Yeah, that was 2000. That was when the second club he had. Remember that with the giant elevated stage. That's where we were. It was that
Across the street from the old.
Yes, the one that was
I
across the
started
street.
in the old one. That was the
Right.
one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I heard everyone said that was still the best
that
one.
was still the best one.
Yeah.
Have you been to his new club?
Once, yeah.
Where's the new one? When was the last time you were there?
I went to the one that's kind of near the airport, like in the middle of town, kind of. Like at where the other guy helped him open it, that other comedian or whatever. I forgot the guy's name, but like that's the one. It's It's a kind of near Lee Trevino. You just take it, and it's right there, and it's up the street, kind of near the airport. I don't know if he's moved it again, but I think that was.
Can you believe you shot your first special?
That's
It's
so
gonna be on
weird.
television.
That's so
Oh, fuck.
weird.
Who shot the special for you?
Gabe produced it. We went up to Levity Live, that club in Nyack up there, and he packed it out because he put his name all over it, which is such a huge help, and so we just packed the place out with like a real crowd. It was really awesome, and he just let me run. He goes, dude, just do your time. He goes, we need at least an hour. I ended up doing like about an hour and 20, so we'll see. It was really fun.
When
man.
you're a comic, people at home, think you have an agent and a manager and you have all that stupidity. But I gotta tell you guys, 60% of the time, it's another comic
No
that helps
question.
another comic,
No question.
and it's a really nice bond.
Yeah.
People say comedy is cliquey, and it is very cliquey,
Sure.
and you have to accept that. But the cliques that are, what's the matter, Lee?
No, I that annoys me because offices are clicky. This is just your office. Everywhere's
Well,
clicky.
everything is clicky, yeah,
that's-
for sure. But like, Joey, what fascinates me is when you have comic. You know that, right? That most of the help you're going to get is from another comedian.
It's from another
so why do
comedian.
you have comics that are assholes? I never understand that. It's like, dude, why are you sitting here burning every fucking bridge when you know that the 90% of your help is going to come from your own peers, right? So why would you be such a prick to everybody? I never understood that. I never got that.
I never got it either.
It's so weird.
I never got it either. I assume it's like a jealousy factor mixed with a little hatred, like you confuse hatred with jealousy.
Yeah.
That could happen. It's amazing how something shows up disguised as something else. I don't know. It's just a lot of things, but I'm happy that, Joe's helped me a lot. Adam Sandler helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Nick Swanson, we saw Nick at the thing the other day. You have all these people from different walks, and then you have different people that have an opportunity to help you or something, and they don't. Now, I don't want comics that are listening to this going, well, what do I do? Latch on to a comic.
No. It's not like that.
No.
That's actually a turnoff.
I was talking to a guy last week, the guy I worked with in Toledo, Bo. Bo said he opened up for what's his name? The really educated black dude that's always on HBO on what's his
DL.
name show, DL.
Yeah.
And DL told him once, now when I'm on the East Coast, you're working with me.
Right.
And he goes, two guys helped me, Chappelle and DL Hughley. We work together. They dig you, and I dig everybody I work with on the road. I tell them, if you come to LA, look me up. There's nothing we could do for you.
Right.
That's what comics get the This is the misnomer that we're saying comics could help you, but there's nothing a comic could do for you.
Right.
There's different levels in your career where a comic could come in and go, hey, come on the road. You're a great feature act.
Right.
And from there, you take off. And everybody I know, from Josh Wolf went on the road with Larry the Cable Guy. Chelsea used to open up with Dave Attell.
Yeah.
You hear these stories. So I never want people to think you have to put the work in.
You do, yeah.
And eventually somebody will pick you up and go, listen, are you a regular at the store? You're not? Let me call down there for you, at least get you a showcase.
Yeah, man.
It's the people who come out and they're here for one day and go, hey, I'm here. What can you do for me? I can't do nothing.
No, that's a
You
problem.
have to go out for a couple months, get yourself a little name, get the store to pull you, and then I'll give you the push you need.
Right.
You follow me? It's like when you're up over the hill and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I'm not going to make it. And 3 Puerto Ricans show up and push you over. That's what this is. We just give you a little push after you've done the work.
Yeah, that's a problem.
The easiest way to say it.
A lot of people show up and they're just like, oh, remember that one time? I'm here. And I'm like, okay, well, you want to go have lunch and we can hang out for a little bit, but that's all that really can happen, And that goes a long way sometimes too. A lot of people don't understand. Like it's nice to just be able to, when you first come to a town, I didn't want anyone to help me. It was just nice to go see somebody I knew for an hour. You know what I mean? And go have lunch, go, relax. That was great. You can't, like, what can we do right now? Like it's out here. It's like shit, man. It's, again, it's like nobody's going to take a chance on somebody they've never heard of, no matter who's plugging them, no matter who's, they just don't have time for that out here. That's the thing.
But even if you could, like, at most you could, like, book a room. But even if, let's say you introduce them to an agent, and let's say they start booking them everywhere.
Yeah.
For comics, even if you get booked, it doesn't mean you're going to be funny. Like, you can't.
There's so much you have to do. That's why it's like, a lot of guys don't understand. They'll have a friend who hits, right? You've seen that happen too, where someone from, some guy from Houston has a friend who just got a deal or a show, so they'll come out here and think, oh, okay, I'm next, right? And it's like, no, dude, like, it's you have to, they just want to get lazy and just wait. It's like you can't do that, like. Like you said, you don't want anyone to get the idea that you have to latch on to anybody. You shouldn't do that because a lot of comics can kind of smell that. They can kind of smell the...
They do. They smell that. They want to guest set, and then, hey, man, if you ever want to take somebody on the road. Listen, I live in L.A. I got 90 guys in front of me that need work. I just met you. That's the other partner right there. I just met you.
Yeah.
I have 90 guys in front of me. Do what you're doing. Do what the fuck you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
And when you're ready, I'm here.
Yeah, man.
Someday you come out to the store, blah, blah, blah. Our friend came out from Paducah. George, nice Spanish kid that I worked with in Paducah. And he sent me an email. I told him, I said, listen, bro, here's the deal. You got to go out now and make a name amongst the comics.
Yeah.
That means you got to hit all these fucking dumbass rooms.
Yeah.
All these shitty fucking rooms. And then somebody's going to see you and go, boom. We're going to get you a spot at the Improv, and it becomes infectious.
Yeah.
Now you get a manager. Now he calls the Laugh Factory. Now you call me. I could recommend you because they want somebody with a fucking manager. This has become like an industry show now.
Yeah.
I grandfathered my way in, but a lot of these guys, they want you to have a manager, and they want you to have an agent. They want you to have a booking agent. No booking agent's going to sign you when you're making $500 a week.
No way.
That's $50 a fucking week from you, and you got to turn on the lights. I love it when features go, I need a booking agent. It's great. The booking agent is you working with a headliner, him booking you, and then you getting introduced to the clubs, giving them your best 20 minutes, and let them bring you back to headline on Wednesday and Sunday. Next time you come back with the headliner.
Yep.
Then the next time you do it again, now they give you 4th of July. It's a dead weekend, but at least you got a fucking weekend and you're on your way. Now you got to get on Twitter. Now you got to get on fucking Facebook. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same work process. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. What the fuck? Thursday night, cocksuckers.
You got to keep working it. That's the thing, man. And a lot of people don't. Comedy is one of those places where, like, it's almost like where people move out here, and it's like it's like if I got a letter from a loan company saying I've been pre-approved for a $10,000 loan, and I lose my shit, and I'm like, I did it. That's how they act too when they move out here. They act like they just got a letter in the mail saying they've been pre-approved for a loan, and they're like, "Well, here I am. Give me the loan." And they're like, "No, actually, it's not like that." You know, like that's they don't read the fine print.
Now,
that's what it
if
is.
you did the Chicago Comedy Festival,
Right.
and Dave Becky walked up for you from 3 yards,
Right.
and he gives you a card, and he goes, "As soon as you get to L.A., call me."
Then you fucking do it.
Then you move mañana. Like, there's no you go
qu-
right to Grandpa, and you go, those saving bonds.
Gotta go.
Let's cash
Yep.
them motherfuckers in,
Yes.
because I need a train to L.A., motherfucker.
Yep.
There's different situations.
Yeah.
And when I talk about comedy, I don't want to alienate people. A lot of people listen to this in their cubicles. I like to say any art. Any art at all. Whether you
Anything
want to
you
be a
work
juggler.
at. Yeah,
Yesterday,
man.
was I talking to you on the phone? I said something. I was looking at somebody walking on stilts.
No,
Well,
I don't
there's a
think
black
so.
dude that works at Universal, but he's working.
Right.
And he was telling me that now he trains people.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
you did. You were saying that.
I bumped into him. I had to go get Mercy. Me and my wife were coming home, and I told my wife, "Hey, you play a lottery today?" I said, "When's the last time you played a lottery ticket?" She goes, "Never." I go, "Me neither. Let's play a pick six."
Right.
And I went to that liquor store, and some guy came out, and I recognized my neighbor, and we started talking. And I go, "Was that you on stilts before?" And he told me his whole career, how long he's been doing it. Like, he had to travel for 8 years and sleep on a couch. And
Jesus.
it's work.
It's everything.
This
dude.
is
Yeah.
work. This is work. And those couch stories and the floor stories and working at Dallas Hyenas and going to the supermarket and the next morning opening up your fucking eggs and there's a roach in there that broke in through the fucking through the package. You know, in those condos. And Greg whatever sleeping on the floor with no shirt on. And next thing you know, you hear a bunch of people dialing and you go out into your living room and they got a telemarketing fucking chapter of comedy clubs in your fucking living room. These are all true stories,
Dude,
people.
have you? My favorite road moments were now looking back when it was happening. I thought I was gonna die. Or, you've done this, I'm sure, a million times when you first started as a feature, right? Do you remember when you would work those weeks with those 20-something years in bitter road guys
The worst.
who lived in the Midwest?
The worst.
And just,
And
oh my,
and just bombed LA, and they sell everything.
Yes.
They sell sneakers, buttons, shoes, guitars, and they're bitter about LA. You live in
LA
LA.
sucks.
You suck dick, you might as well start because nothing's going to happen to you.
Dude,
unless
it's
you're
funny.
gay.
On my special, I have a bit about that where I talk about when my CD came out. Someone's like, "Hey, whose dick did you have to suck?" I'm like, "The one you didn't. That's whose dick." You know what I mean? And then I was like, "And what does that even mean? Like, what if there was some magic dick out there? Would you suck it? Fuck no. You know what I mean? Like, you would just, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, first of all, I'm not good at, promise you right now, I'd be horrible at sucking dick. So if I were to go blow some guy to move ahead, he'd be like, "Nah, sorry, man. Like, you're not good at this. You
That's
gotta
when
go."
they pick you up by a little head, that little hairdo that used
Bye-bye.
to be big. That's when they pick you up, forget about it. Just lick my asshole. Don't worry about the rim job. What is
Right.
it?
So, as headliners, what would you look for? Since there are so many people who could feature for you, like, what do you guys look for if you get to pick a feature?
It doesn't matter. It just someone's funny, like funny, and
Who's funny?
and you can tell that.
Yeah,
like,
but there's like
you can
Easy
tell that
to work with.
easy
You
to
know
work
them.
with, you know
I
them.
know that he's striving.
Right.
I want to know that he's paying a rent. I want to know
Yeah.
that he's banging it out every fucking night like
Yep.
I did.
Yep.
I want to know that he's not running. Well, I'm tired. There's no tired in this. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Until you pop 3 or 4 things, you can't be tired. It could be 3 or 4 years. I don't know what
could
day
take-
off. I don't
Yep.
know what wedding you're talking about. Christmas, suck my dick. Jesus was a Jew. You know, let's get it
Do you know
together
how many,
here.
do you know how many times? I mean, you've been through this. I mean, dude, there is nothing that. Like if and I'll tell you that's what you just said it best. Like I would look for a comic who I know this guy has spent at least 2 or 3 already Christmases alone in a fucking hotel room in the middle of nowhere because they're working that week, you know. And we've done that, dude. I remember that, dude. And those are nightmares, especially when you're up like in the north and it's just fucking snowed in. There's nothing to do. There's no show that night, and you're just trapped in your room on Christmas. But
But there's
"Fuck it."
always somebody who goes, "Hey man, what are you gonna do? You want to come over to the house?" My
Yeah,
girlfriend's still-"
something. Yep.
There's
Usually
always
a
on
manager
the
at the
road
club,
where
one of the other comics.
You really
yeah.
learn about human compassion
Yeah.
on the road sometimes.
Yep.
You know, speaking about El Paso, I used to have the gay manager, John. That was just
Right,
dynamite.
right.
He had the young Mexican lover, and
Dude, he was a bad
He was a
motherfucker,
bad
man.
motherfucker, John.
Dude, he
man.
was a bad
And you
motherfucker.
hugged him and kissed him, and I'd squeeze his ass, and he'd run from me. You know, I mean, it was just fucking. You meet. I could write a book of the people that I met
Yeah.
that bailed me on the spot as a feature act.
Man.
That I wish there's a way I could get a hold of him and thank him, because there was millions of them. There was a Puerto Rican guy in South Dakota one time, like Green River, South Dakota, that I'll
Right.
never forget, that stuck his head out when he heard the accent. He stuck his head out the window and he goes, bro, I met some white chick. I got stuck out here in the service. I'm the only Puerto Rican out here. And I'm like, can we get weed? And,
Right.
you know, and he brought me weed and he didn't charge me. When I did a tribble run one time, fucking Minneapolis, Minnesota, or not even Minneapolis, I'm sorry, like Minnesota, all the way where they fish for
The ice-
walleye.
Yeah.
And all that shit. And we'd finished the show. Dog, we drove for 2 hours in the darkness.
Yeah.
And all there was fake deer. And the light was when your headlights hit the lights. I mean, you were scared. Lee, you kept going, Joey, like, where are you taking me?
I've had a tire blowout on a triple one time. Driving through Montana, I hit black ice. My car spun. My tire exploded. I'll never forget this. I had to fucking pull over, jack it up, put on the little tiny spare, and I still had 50 miles to go, and I just made it to the gig. Like, those triple runs like that are like, fuck, man. And have you ever had a triple run during good weather? I don't think that exists,
He
right?
doesn't give them to you. He saves those for the fucking good comedy.
Yeah. I mean, man, we would just go in like death. I
Well,
mean,
you know, it's not that you would go, it's that you didn't think about it.
Yeah, man.
You loved the comedy so
Yeah.
much. You loved, and you'd go to your friends and go, I'm doing Potato Run 2 next week. And they go, in December? Good luck.
good luck.
We'll never see you again. And even it's not like when you're like, oh, you're flying to Boston. Good luck. Those planes go down. Let me tell you something. You will hit a deer on a
Oh, I've
triple
done
run.
Yeah.
People
I've had a
come
tire
home, the
blowout.
fuck tires blow out. You got to get out, put chains on your car.
You ever run out of gas on a triple run?
Oh, please.
And you have to go fucking run like a mile to a gas station, fill it up, run back to the. That's happened to me. Like, dude, triple runs. Oh man, it's nothing else can. That is the comedy
It's a training
dojo
program.
that you'll
A
never.
triple run is a training program. Once you call David Tribble as a comic, and he goes, I have 6 weeks of work for you. You know one thing. You're going to comedy camp.
Yeah, man.
You're learning every aspect of comedy except marketing. There's
Yeah.
no really marketing because it's too quick.
Too quick.
It's too quick.
One night you're done.
What you
You're in and
learn
out.
is how to drive, get there, live on $50.
Yeah.
You know, get to the gig, directions, what to put in your car. You know, by the second year of comedy, your car becomes
It's your home.
it's a dollar store.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could describe
Yeah.
it. You have screwdrivers, antifreeze,
Anything
a
you
pillow,
need.
a soda, a football, a frisbee.
You're like
a
MacGyver,
camera,
dude.
I mean, a knife, a wrench, a fucking soccer ball, a sleeping bag, a tent, a grill. You've got Tang. You've got waters in the
Yes.
back. You've got so much shit in your car, and you learn how to put it all together.
Yeah.
You learn how to pull over and sleep for 3 hours. and
Yeah.
leave the windows open, and the car running, and lock the doorknobs. Open up the sunroof at those rest areas.
You know what I would do with the rest areas? I would sleep. I would take. I had a water gun, and I would just hold it, and I would wear a hoodie, and I bought a water gun, and I would put it in the middle pocket so it looked like I was holding a gun. When you go to like to the shady, really creepy fucking, and just in case, just make it look like I'm packing. Like you would do all, dude. I remember when I was on the road, the best feeling was one time I was doing a gig, and I was in between gigs, and I just found a basketball court out in the middle of nowhere. And I had my basketball in my car.
You gotta put
and I was
everything
like,
in your
man,
car.
this is the
Frisbees,
fucking shit. And it's just-
basketball, swimming trunks.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know what you're going to bump into. And on the triple run, see, the weekend's on Saturday. So the week doesn't start till Tuesday. You're on
Tuesday,
Montana by yourself.
Let's explain to Lee too the breakdown on payments. Okay, let's say you, because I would feature on
How
Trouble
much
Runs,
was he
right?
paying on those?
So let's say you do a comedy club and they give you $500 Wednesday through Sunday or whatever, $700. You would get about the same with the triple gig, except they would pay you each night. And what was mind blowing is the first night you got $10, and then you would go to the second club, you get $35. And then the third one you get $250, and then the next night you get $75, and it would all even out at the end. But like you said, a lot of times you do those gigs, you have zero in your pocket, and you get to the first gig, and all you get is $10. You're like, fuck, I got to stretch this for all day tomorrow.
Veggie and cheese,
Dude,
from Subway.
fuck yeah,
half
man.
for breakfast, the other half for lunch.
Fuck yeah.
And hopefully they'll feed me at the
At the
gig
club,
when I
yes.
get there.
Yep.
And then you get to the hotel, you check in, and they have like a buffet downstairs, like a free gatherings
the
of the
best.
town. And they got like for little pizzas. And you go down there and eat 2 of them, but you're like, you know what? I'm fucking starving. I'm eating this whole. There's always something. I didn't have a credit card, so they would say you can't.
Yeah,
turn the
me too,
TV
dude.
You can't turn the TV on. You can't turn the phone on. Lee, a fucking nightmare when you don't have a credit card.
But then you know what happens is then there's always those weird magic moments where like the one hot chick in that one town comes to the show and you got a room for the night. You know what I mean? You remember those weird moments? You're like, what is she even doing? Fucking me, but I'll take it. You know, and it's all that like, you're almost in a, you know, like you said, you meet these and you build these weird, it's almost like you're living a life with somebody for one night, but for whatever reason, all the emotions and all that shit, it's all cool. And it's just like, this is nice. And it's those, nothing can compare to any comedian who's just starting off. If you want to learn how to be a comic, go do a triple run right now. Just fucking pack up your car and go do a triple run, and you will be a better comic when it's over. You will.
Oh my God! You learn
dude,
quickly.
Okay, so I was doing a gig. I was doing a triple run one time in Montana, and I was in Dallas, and it was before I was going to take off. Now, when I first started doing triple runs, dude, you think you're a superstar. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to go tour, and like this is, you know, and you don't realize it. You know, like Pocatello, Idaho isn't, you know, the entertainment capital of the world, but you're like, fuck, I'm going to be doing a gig, like, you know, and so you do these, and so anyway, this tape started circulating from this comedian. I forgot his name, but he's on stage, and I was going to be at the club in 2 nights, and I remember the VHS, pop it in, and this guy's on stage. For whatever reason, he was taping at a triple one, which is already a mistake. You're not going to get your Tonight Show. Yeah, you're not going to get your Tonight Show submission set from there. No. You know, and so he's sitting there, and he's in Montana, and he's a little dude. You know, he's not a big guy, and someone's heckling him. And he's just finally, after like 30 minutes, he just lays into the guy. And he goes, this is my fucking life. And you sit there, and then you just see this fucking corn-fed redneck just get up and just walk to the stage. He pushes the comic, unplugs the mic, and then boom, knocks the fuck out of him. And then like a brawl just starts, and it's all on tape. And you're like, and you're gonna be at that club in 2 nights, and it's like, well, hope it goes better for me.
You know, those triple runs. There's people who just go out to heckle the comic.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's it. That's all they do. They just go out to heckle the comically.
So I did a show.
That's like them and their buddies are like, it's heckle night.
That's it.
That's all they do.
That's all they do.
Dude, they are. A lot of times, especially in places like that, dude. These are people who are like all the stress of their week, their month, their life. They get to just once a week go take it out on these fucking schmoes who just walk in and do comedy, and they just fucking you can't explain.
They did it to me in Idaho, and I had to fight them.
Dude,
the following week, I hit them with Chinese food at the mall.
Of course. Do you think people who do that know they're terrible people?
No. They don't.
They have no idea.
They have
They're
no
just
idea.
trying
Dude,
to be cool in front of their friends.
Trying to get
Let
laid.
me tell this fucking New Yorker that I'm funnier than he is.
Yes.
And
They don't realize they're being assholes. They
No.
think they're being part of the show. They think they're. You know, one time it was in Montana. Always in Montana, dude. And I was doing a show, and of course I'm Mexican. But when you met me, you're like, "There's no fucking way." You know, nobody believes it. They all think I'm Jewish, right? Because you
look Jewish.
I know. I look Sephardic, dude. It's crazy. But like, so I'm doing this show, and all I say is, I'm Mexican. I'm 5 minutes in. I go, so I'm Mexican. And this woman at the back goes, hey, motherfucker, don't you run your fucking mouth, but I'm fucking Mexican. I don't want to hear no fucking bullshit. I'm like, whoa. I said, no, we're cool. All I said was I was Mexican, you know? Wasn't making fun of Mexicans. I was just getting it out there that I'm Mexican. And I said, is anyone else here that's Mexican besides me and that stupid piece of shit in the back? And then, dude, she gets on a phone. The bar had a fucking old school phone on it, and we're in the hotel. Because it was remember some of those triple rooms, you're in a lounge of a hotel.
Right, you're in a lounge, like a Red Robin,
Red Roof Inn, all that shit.
I think I saw one then in like upstate New York or something.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. And then so she gets on this phone, and throughout, I'm doing, 20 minutes, I'm featuring. And she gets on the phone, and about 10 minutes after she's been on the phone, we are no longer the only 2 Mexicans in Helena, Montana. There was like 15 dudes come walking, and they're waiting for me. They were waiting. They're all like, okay, bro, what you got to say, cabron? We're gonna see what the fuck happened. Like, and I was like, okay, here we go. And I'm thinking in my head, like, shit, I'm gonna die. Like, this is it. Like, fuck, they're gonna fucking kill me. Because she called all of her boys, and they all showed up to kick my ass. I didn't even make fun. I didn't even really make fun of her. And then I said, guys, when I ended my set, I couldn't. Comedian ego. I said, hey, by the way, if anyone was offended tonight during my set, I apologize. But if the only one was offended was that stupid piece of shit in the back of the room, then fuck you. I'm glad I offended. And then everyone was into it. And these guys were like ready to jump the stage. And what they didn't realize, so they're all stage left where the entrance to the lounge is, right? What they didn't realize was stage right is another door that just goes right to the hotel. So I just bring up the headline. I go, thank you, good night. And bloop, I just go out the fucking door and I ran to my fucking room and just holed up. I was like, man, fuck. And I was ready to go in. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to die. But the headliner grabbed me as I was bringing it up. He goes, go stage right. He's shaking my hand. He goes, I'll get your money. Go stage right. There's nobody there. They don't know that's, and just go to your fucking room. And so I'm like, shit. So I run up to my room. When I get to my room, it takes like 30 seconds, right, to get to my hotel room. The phone's ringing. I pick it up, and is this the front desk? There's a gentleman here who says he went to high school. He wants to know what room you're in, so he can come up and say hi. I'm like, nah, I don't know anybody in this town. Like, it was, and I remember that I left my car in the parking lot, and it had Texas plates on it. And I talked about being from Texas, and it was the only one with Texas plates. So I did like fucking Mission Impossible. I had to fucking sneak all the way down, get in my car, go park it in a bank across the street, and then sneak all the way back up.
I would have left the room, fucking take the car, light the fucking thing on fire. One time I had a scare in Idaho. And it was fucking crazy because I'm on stage and I see this black guy, and he's talking to white women in Idaho. And when I'm cracking jokes, I'm saying to myself, this guy's got the biggest balls in the world. Because this is around the OJ time. Furman had a house in Idaho. So in my mind, I'm like... So after the show, I fuck around and I get off stage and I talk to the black guy. He comes over to me and goes, brother, thank you that you came. He was the only black guy. And he was slinging big dick. And you could tell these white guys hated him. Like they fucking hated him. And when I went to the bathroom, a guy was in there, and he goes, did you have a good time with your Negro buddy?
Wow.
And I could tell. I'm telling you, listen, you want to fucking piss people off, fuck with their women.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if they're not fucking them. It's like Office and the Gentleman. When
no question.
When they come into the bar, the guys chase them out of the bar and want to fight them just because they were talking to the girl. Dog, it's really weird. It's a weird mentality. And they're not coming into our town with that Led Zeppelin shirt on, And they fucking go nuts, Lee.
It's at that, what's that Bob Seger song, Turn the Page?
Yeah.
Every performer who's ever had to do one-nighters has lived every moment of that song. Right? You remember like they walk into the restaurant and everyone's looking at you like, what fucking freak is this?
I remember
those
walking
looks?
to Montana with Rico.
Oh, wow.
Black Rico. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Stanhope's
buddy?
Yeah. Black Rico's 400-pound black guy with a spider on his face, a fucking a beard. And I'll never forget.
Were you guys a big hit that week?
It was horrendous. We were co-headlining Tribble. And I'll never forget where we were the first night. And in the morning he woke up and there's no black people for fucking days. This fucking idiot decides to get on his hands and knees. He's Muslim. Or whatever the fuck those people are that breathe they pray on their knees.
Yeah.
This restaurant's packed with white people.
In a restaurant?
And he wants to get down. And I told him, I go, Rico, you got to get up. We're going to get killed. Yeah. It's bad enough you're fucking black and 400 fucking pounds. You want to pray to Allah.
With a spider tattoo.
Yeah, in 1995. They don't know nothing about Allah, nothing.
Praying to Allah at a golden corral.
Whoever the fuck he was praying to. He's looking at me like, you insulted me. Dog, I ain't got time for this shit. Get up.
We're at a Cracker Barrel. They're going to fucking kill us.
I sit there sometimes. I'll never forget when I first left Denver. I was meeting, when I left Boulder, June 30th in 95 or whatever, for June 1st, I was meeting Carol, the stripper in Seattle. And I don't know about you guys. I couldn't wait to fucking tear Carol up. Like it was Tuesday, and I was jerking off 8 times in the shower, just thinking about how hot a pussy was. She was going to strip for me, and I was crazy. And I remember I did Wednesday, I'll never forget this. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday with a guy that was from Orange County.
Okay.
He was a comedian at the time. He said he owned a house and he had lived out here for 15 years. And he got, from time to time, he was an extra. And I asked him if he got spots at the Improv. And he goes, no, and you'll never get in there. And the Laugh Factory, it's impossible. The Comedy Store. And I mean, he's telling me all this shit. And I'll never forget how negative he was.
Always.
He gave me a card, and it was 4 days because I was telling him I was moving to Seattle to hook up with this girl, and I'm going to do comedy. And he's like, you know what, man? I don't mean to piss on your parade, but stay in Seattle. Don't let people let you talk them into moving to. I still remember there was a fucking guy with new chucks on the road.
Right.
They used to bring him up on stage. That drove me crazy for a couple of nights. I know I could write them out like 10 guys. I do not remember their names, but it's funny that the Triple Run. See, I started on the Triple Run.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
A lot of people. No. I was the house MC
Oh, shit.
on the Triple Run. That's how I met Stan Hope and a lot of.
That's the best.
You know, at that time there were medium level comics.
Yeah.
I only remember 2 now that are
Right.
still in the business that came through there. There was one kid from San Francisco that came one time for the 2-year anniversary, and I gotta tell you guys, he blew up that fucking room.
Nice.
And I saw him out here at Rouse one day, and I walked up to him. So it's 2:15.
Yeah.
I think I saw him after Mad TV.
Okay.
I did Mad TV,
Yeah.
and I did something else. By 2003, I think I had Mad TV.
Yeah.
Or 2002, I had I had like basketball and a pilot. No ego. I knew I was very lucky. I knew that I thought like I had stepped in shit. It'll never happen again. And I bumped into him. And I walked outside and went after him like, I don't know if you remember me, man. In 1992, you destroyed the broker. And he goes, yeah. And I go, what do you do now? And he goes, I got out of comedy completely. I moved down here and I did one. And it's one of those times where there was a couple comics that I remember going, wow, that guy's really good. He was one of those guys.
Yeah.
Stanhope. I saw Stanhope as a feature act at the broker.
Wow.
1991.
Wow.
I invited him to stay over the house. He stayed over the house because I was divorced.
Yeah.
And I had this huge house. So the comics were cool. In those days, it was Boulder on Tuesday.
Okay.
Craig on Thursday.
Oh, Craig. Wow. Yeah.
Craig, which was I'll never forget the itinerary for Craig. Craig was a Triple Run. Friday was Gunnison.
Yeah, Gunnison, Idaho.
And Sunday
right?
was, all Colorado. And Sunday was Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs.
Like a barn.
Yeah.
Like Sunday.
Yeah.
It wasn't Judy Brown's room. It was a
No.
different room.
It was a triple run. It was a triple run. Yeah.
So what you did was basically what these poor bastards did was some of them got up Wednesday morning after a hard night at the broker and they'd shoot up to Craig because it was 6 hours behind Aspen. And
that's the thing with a triple run, dude. You finish Wednesday night at 10. You have to be almost 10 hours across the state Thursday night. Like there's no joke.
There's no joke. So sometimes you got to drive 8 hours. Some days you drive 45 minutes. And you have the whole day to yourself. But there's some days you got to get up at 8 and drive, and you're still going to get there at 6. If you get up at 8.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
Did you guys ever have like an issue with like a guy knocking on the door and you're like having sex with his girlfriend or his wife? Since like you guys hooked up with people on the road.
Luckily, I've avoided that. I mean, you know, I've heard a horror story from this one comic who said that happened. Like after he'd hook up with a chick, there was a knock at his door the next day, and a dude had a badge. He walked in and says, I'm a detective from local department. He goes, a woman here claims you raped her last night. And the comic is like freaking the fuck out. He's like, dude, that never fucking happened. And so he sits the guy down and he starts making him go into detail as to what happened that night. And it turns out that wasn't even a cop. It was that chick's crazy ex-boyfriend who just fucking was tailing her all night and then just wanted to hear. He bought a fake badge and wanted to hear like what it fucking crazy shit like that. Luckily, I avoided all that. Like, I got lucky, man. Yeah, definitely, you'd hook up with chicks. You'd always be worried, like, fuck. Like, one time when I was in Little Rock, I thought, you know what, her boyfriend is here. Like, she took me back to her house, and we fucked in her dining room, of all places. And the whole time, like, you know what, sometimes you can tell when there's, like, other eyes, I'm like, dude, her husband is either into this and watching it, or something. So I got the fuck out of there as quick as I could, but, like, Luckily, I've never had that, happen where someone's trying to kill me or, kick my ass over or anything like that. Like, luckily,
You learn a lot. Like, I'll tell you what shocked me. The most shocking thing that happened to me was I'm a cokehead. I was a cokehead on the road. So the coke took me wherever.
Right.
If a chick was involved, I'm gone. So I'd be at the fucking club, and as a feature act, I'd make believe I was in the payphone in El Paso. And I'd be on the payphone trying to get blow or calling. And I'll never forget this one night, this girl came up to me, because Wednesday night was Army night.
Yeah, always.
It was Tuesday through Sunday.
Still
Tuesday
is,
through Saturday. And either Tuesday night or Wednesday night was Army.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you.
It was the second night of the week. The second night of the week was Army. Yeah.
Like what, at a Army base?
At this particular club. At
It was
this
El Paso,
particular
right?
club, Wednesday night was
Yeah.
Army night.
Okay.
Because there was a base really
There
close.
was a
to
base
there.
really
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget that I'm at the thing, and some girl comes over, very sweet-looking girl. I mean, did I have a chance with her? No. We were just talking. And
Sure.
She goes, "Are you from L.A.? And you've really been in the movie?" And we started talking. One thing led to another. She goes, "Do you drink?" And yeah, let me buy you a drink. And okay, at the time I drank a little bit. I was at least sociable then
Sure.
with booze. And I had a drink. And she goes, "I'm going to go back in with my girlfriends. I'll come back. Thank you for talking to me." And she came out, and her and her girlfriends, and then they took me up to the corner in El Paso, and we talked. And she's like, I got to get out of here with you. And I bought like a gram of blow. I already had it in my pocket. And we went back to the fucking thing, and there was a bottle of wine and a couple of beers in there from the week before.
Sure.
And we started drinking, and I don't know, guys, what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I was supposed to think anything. And I was in the bathroom doing little bumps. I didn't want him back. The girl
Sure.
looked very clean cut. Fuck no. One of the times I went in the bathroom, I came out, she was balls ass naked. And God knows what happened. I don't.
Of course.
In those days, I didn't like to have condoms.
Right.
So sometimes you go down on them, they go down on you, you finish, and you go home, whatever. That was it. I don't
You can
know.
learn to have fun and play it
She did
safe.
blow. Then we
Yeah.
realized she did blow. And
Right.
She stood out till like 5:30 in the morning. I slept all day. The headliner was kind of pissed. He's like, "I heard you out here." I don't know who the fucking headliner was.
Oh, they always do that too. When you get laid and the headliner doesn't,
the headliner doesn't.
Man, they get fucking.
And I don't even think I fucked. I just think she was naked playing with
Sure.
herself or whatever, doing craziness out there. And do you know that I didn't take her name, I didn't take her number. She just left and said, "I gotta go home. I'm gonna take a shower and go right to work." Thursday night, I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Friday night, she came back and she goes, "Joey, come here. I want you to meet my husband." I nearly fucking died.
Oh fuck.
And I didn't, and I went back to the room, and it teaches you about people.
Yes.
I learned a lot about that. Lessons about people.
Yeah, man.
Is there trust or whatever? I mean, who walks in at 5:30 in the morning and whose husband says, "Where the fuck you been?"
Right. No shit.
Like,
The
where the fuck
fuck
you
were
been?
you?
They were
Yeah.
happy as shit, kissing as shit. I had a situation
They were
once in
probably
Miami.
into it.
You never know.
She
Or
didn't,
she's
she
the
didn't
best
come
liar
back
on
and
earth.
she didn't come back and talk to me about it or nothing. She waved. I met her husband. Oh, she was great. Yeah. Boom. They walked away, and she just sat there. Yeah, we had a great time the other night. Whatever the fuck. Then there was another time in Miami with a girl. 2 weeks I dated her in Miami, driving her car. It was crazy. And Sunday night,
Always happens.
Sunday night, I look at her hand and she's got a wedding band on. And I go, "What's up?" We're talking, and she goes, "I'm getting married in 3 months, so after tonight,
man.
there's no chitter chatter, there's no conversation." And I go, "Where is this guy?" And she goes, "He's a weatherman on television, so he has to be there at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. So during the week, I don't see him." And all of a sudden, it hit me. I wouldn't see her Friday or Saturday. She would show back in the club Sunday night, like Jip Jop Magoo. And this Sunday night I didn't see her. And she goes, "I want to see you before you leave Monday." And she goes, "Listen, take my fucking number. Take it out. I'm getting married." And let me tell you something. That was 1998.
Yeah.
And last year, when I went to Miami, I played a restaurant.
Okay.
Miami doesn't have an improv anymore.
Like home
Right.
field, is it? Like home
Home
field?
field,
Yeah.
sports. So Home Field Sports contacted the improv and they go, "Can we do comedy? Book them." So they called me and they go, "They want you to come down." So I went down there. Friday night when I'm walking off stage, she grabbed me after fucking
Wow.
16 years.
That's fucking.
And
Oh
she goes,
man.
"Do you remember me?" And I go, "No." And she goes, she took her glasses off. I go, "Oh my God." But she was crazy, this girl. Like she dated the singer from Van Halen.
Oh, David Lee Roth.
Oh, this girl
Damn.
was a savage. She was blonde,
Damn.
beautiful, bikini. Her husband or her dad owned an Audi dealership.
Oh, wow.
Or like a Mercedes dealership or a Porsche dealership. So she lived in a high-rise on the beach. She had 3 different cars in her fucking driveway,
Damn.
in her little parking garage.
What did she expect when she talked to you now? Was she like, let's
Probably
do it
just wanted to
again?
say, hey.
I said hello to her and kept
Yeah.
walking.
No, I know what you did. I'm just saying, was she like, let's do it again? Or
Nothing, no.
Probably just came to see the show,
She
yeah.
came she came to see the show, and it was me.
Yeah.
And she was
She
like,
didn't-
holy shit.
Did you ever ride? Dude, I was going to one of the craziest nights I had was in Oklahoma City at the Looney Bin. And I was featuring for this comic who, just remained nameless, but nice enough guy, but shit, man. So, and about the trust thing, there's this girl just gorgeous. She was like 6'1", beautiful, statuesque, just stunning. And she was at the show, and she walks up to Katsky, goes, oh, she's a little bit drunk. She says, you guys are so great, blah, blah, blah. And her husband was with her. Her husband was right there with her. And he goes, he's about to go hunting. And it was one of the stupid redneck shit where they leave at like midnight and they're not back for another 2 days or whatever, right? And he goes, he's going hunting for the weekend and it's just going to be me. And he takes off to go hunting with his friends from the club. And she's there and she goes, well, do y'all want to come back to my place? Fucking like, the husband just left, right? And so, and of course, the other comics like, fuck yeah, we're going. So I had to drive. And I'm driving, me and the headliner, it was actually just the headliner, myself, and a bartender from the club.
A woman or a man?
Man, so
So you got
3 dudes.
3 guys and a
3
chick.
dudes she brings back to her place. And I'm sitting there, dude. I was like fucking scared, man. I was one of my first times on the road, Joey. I'm just sitting there like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here, And then sure enough, we're hanging out and she had a pot leaf framed in a picture. And she also like had this knife that she bought her husband that had like some message on it, like engraved, like I will love you forever. It was like this really pretty hunting knife that the blade she got engraved, that was sitting there. And then she's just talking, she flashes us. And then the bartender just goes to fuck her. Like he just takes her to her bedroom and starts fucking her. And as he's fucking her, the headliner grabs the framed pot leaf. He steals a knife, and then they had like $300 cash in a box. He just took that, and he looks at me and goes, "That guy can find his way home. We're getting the fuck out of here right now." And I'm like, "Fuck!" So we just we just left. It was the craziest, and I'm just scared shitless the whole drive. Like something's gonna fucking happen. Like something's gonna fucking happen. Like, it was,
Did you see the chick the rest of the week?
never saw her again. She never came back. That was the first night. That was on fucking Wednesday night. Whatever it was. That was the first night of the fucking run, too. So I was, the whole weekend, I'm like, any minute now, they're going to come back. And then we're back at the condo, and the headliner, just the whole weekend, just had the knife, just throwing it up against the wall at night. It's just in the middle of the night. And I'd go downstairs the first time, what the fuck is that? And it was just him. He would take the knife out, pitch black darkness, throw it up against the wall again. By the time we left, there was like 40 fucking cuts in the wall.
That's a fucking wackadoo.
It was crazy, man. I was like, fuck, I was just right here. It was.
Sometimes on the road, like I would go, the craziest things that happened to me weren't with women, it was with drugs. See, I was going into some dark fucking places, man.
Jesus.
Was there ever a moment where you're like, you know what, this isn't worth it? Was there ever like where maybe right when it started or right when you're like, you know what, this was not worth
Oh, it was
getting
always
high?
worth it. It
Right.
just that's the darkness for me. That was the real
Right.
darkness for me some nights, going to cop. It's funny, I was telling Lee, my friend got shot in Florida Saturday night. He got shot
shit.
Friday, a kid I grew up with. And
Jesus.
he got blasted, and they found him in a parking lot. And today I was talking to my friend, and I'm like, that's what happens when you go to... And she's like, what do you think he was doing there? Oh, he's looking for birds. He was fucking buying drugs, They found him at 4 in the afternoon. He could have been there.
God.
He left that morning, guys. I remember one time, and I told this story last week because I was in Perrysburg. And I had said I always got bad luck in Bergs because I was in Sunkenberg, West Virginia, and I heard these guys, and I was like, that's when I was on a roll. Like I had just done the Taco Bell commercial. They had just sent me $60,000, so I'm throwing away blow. And I go to fucking, I got a pocket full of fucking cash. I go to West Virginia, and nobody's got cocaine.
Oh, man.
Wednesday, I asked the wait
Throwing away
staff.
blow.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday, the wait staff was like, nah. Thursday, the wait staff is
Jesus.
like, nah. Friday, they're like, nah, there's no cocaine. I mean, this is West Virginia, coal miners. You can't
Right.
say fuck on stage at some of the one-nighters. The one night, it was a ping pong table that they put like a sheet over with bricks underneath. and you couldn't curse. It was a college. It was fucking horrible.
Wait, you had to stand on a ping pong table?
With little stairs on the side. They double reinforced it for fat people.
How big were you?
300 pounds,
And it
maybe.
didn't
Who the
break?
fuck knows? I don't fucking know, Lee. They reinforced the fucking thing.
Oh, my
Because I even
God.
asked them. I go, that's not going to hold me. They're like, look underneath.
That's not
these
gonna work.
bricks.
Yeah.
They turned it into like a brick stage. That's the place where they signed a contract. They wanted you to give them $25 for every time you said fuck.
Wow.
And I go, I'm not going up. Call the fucking
Yeah.
booking agent. This ain't happening. And that night I went into the bathroom and I heard the guys going. And when they got out, I go, what's up, man? They're like, hey, man, you were funny. And I go, let me ask you something. Can you get me some more? Can you sell me something? They're like, we're done. But we'll get you some. Come on. And me and Vinny Capola had a rental car. I go, Vinny, give me the fucking car. He's like, where you going? Don't worry about it. Call me when you get back. And I fucking left him. And I followed these guys into weeds and fucking bushes and, cornfields. It was like an hour of driving. All of a sudden we get there and they go into a trailer. And they come on. The guy goes, how much you want? I go, get like a gram, $100. He goes, $100? I'll get you a pound. And I knew something wasn't right. I go, a pound for $100? And he came out and he gave me a fucking baggie. And I go, what is that? He's like, crank.
Oh,
This is the best shit in West Virginia.
Christ.
This
Crank?
Speed. This
Speed.
guy's been up for 3 months with one batch. And I'm like, really? That shit'll kill you. Give me. I took that motherfucker home. I did a couple bumps. I was fucked up, Jack.
Did you guys ever get arrested on the road?
I did.
I've never been. Luckily, no.
What was that like?
I got arrested for fucking 7 hours
Jesus.
in Idaho, in Twin Falls or something like that.
For what?
For shoplifting a tent. Bringing back, in those days, I used to be a professional fucking tent. I used to be a professional. Any Kmart I saw, this was before they all got onto different computers. You had 2 free returns at Kmart before they put you on file.
Oh, wow.
So if you went to Kmart the first time with like something for $90 and said, hi, my brother got me these floor mats. I already had them. I bought them 3 days earlier. Can you return? Do you have a receipt? Not really. They just scan it. They just scan it to see if they come from that store. I wouldn't walk out of the store. I just take them. And instead of walking out of the store,
Just walk up to the counter.
walk right up to the counter. I just brought, and in those days, they didn't even think of looking at film.
Right.
They
right.
weren't adept to film yet, So I would go up to the counter and go, I need these. They give me back cash. Okay, you go to that same store a week later, and you make sure the same girl's not working. You go, how you
Right.
doing? I got these last week. Okay, and she'll give you a receipt, and they'll give you cash out of the petty cash. But I think the third time, they'll fucking take your license in those days and write your license information. Now, anytime after that, you had a problem.
Right.
So I was banging this out everywhere. Anytime I needed money on a triple run, I just go into a Kmart. How you doing? I just bought this toaster for $200. Okay, sign here. $215 plus tax. They didn't give you the tax back. That's fucked up when you're stealing tax from fucking Kmart. And I'm banging these out in metropolitan cities. I'm going to Baltimore to
Right.
Kmart. In those days, I worked Denver. I lived in the Denver area, and I would dress up in the mornings. This was my season. The day after Thanksgiving is when it starts, and it goes straight till Valentine's Day. When this time of the year was coming around, I was excited because that meant there was no job for Uncle Joey. I had one job. And I could break it into one day, just go out and rob. And this is how I lived from 94 to like 98 until I got busted doing it in 96 or 97 in Twin Falls, Idaho.
Wow.
I would just go anywhere I saw Kmart, Walmart, anything like that. Just take something. Cappuccino machines were big.
Oh, right.
In 95, I was banging out 300 a day, one cappuccino machine. Every mall I saw, I banged out a cappuccino machine. Some days I came home with 1,500.
Jesus.
Oh, my God. It
I'm
was
surprised you didn't get caught more. Just like
It's a different world back then, dude. It was crazy.
20 years ago, we weren't really. Now, no. Now
No way.
they go, okay, let's look at the camera. Beep.
Right.
They just go to a camera, and they'll see you walked in with nothing.
You know what guys used to do back when I used to work at Best Buy? Way back in the days, in the 90s, they would take, they would hollow out a speaker box and just fill it with shit. And so a box, you would get like a big, whatever speaker, right? Those tall, remember those tall, big cardboard boxes? They would just fill it with product, and they would just pay $120 for that one speaker. They would take the box up that we get swindled that all the time. And then you just leave, and then fucking all this product they would either go return in another store, some crazy shit, but you can make so much money doing that.
It's amazing how smart people are. I worked at CVS, and people would take big Old Navy shopping bags,
Right.
and wrap it in tin foil, and then put another one, but try to make it look like just one bag.
Sure.
And the big thing they would steal was Crest white strips because they were so expensive. And they would just go. We had videos of people just going whoop, and running out. So that's why when you go to like a CVS and you see like the weird stuff they have behind there, it's because the people steal it.
You know what? One time when I worked at Best Buy, I wasn't even there that day. I was kind of bummed that I missed it. But so they had gotten these new $1,000 camcorders, right? I don't know if you remember back Best Buys used to have their back stock was sometimes up in cages above the regular aisles, all right? And so this kid was up there. He had just put all these camcorders in, and the scam was genius. Like, as he's up there on the ladder, right, this woman is like, "Sir, can you help me, please?" Being really annoying. And he's like, yeah. And so he just rushes down to help her, and she takes him over there, and he leaves that cage wide open. Dude, like 30 of them were gone. Like 30, her husband went up, got them all, and just walked right out. Like, it was shit like that, dude. It was crazy how people... I mean, you just can't do that now.
I'll tell you how good I was, Lee. I was thinking about contacting these companies and telling them, are you fucking retarded? Like, I'm making a fucking living. I'm making $10,000 a month robbing you guys. That's just me.
Right.
This way, I can imagine who else is robbing you.
Yeah, how many millions?
How many millions you're getting robbed? That's how good I was, Lee. When I went back to Boulder in 94 and 93, I robbed, like, beside the sports betting job I had, and I'm ashamed to say this, I that's all I did.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I would just go in front of Kmart with my bicycle and hang out. A grown man with a bicycle. And I'd look for people coming out dropping receipts.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time.
And I'd pick up a receipt, $40, I'm in. That's good. I got weed and I got lunch. Now I need another receipt.
That's the way to do it.
That's how I did it. I just wait there.
Because nobody keeps a receipt. Everybody tosses them once they get out of the store.
people dropping receipts. One time somebody dropped a fucking lawnmower receipt for $4 bills.
No way.
I took the receipt and I took it all the way to Longmont, Colorado, and went to that Kmart. And I took a lawnmower, brought it up, got the $4 bills back, kept the receipt. I just had it just in case. And then I went back to Boulder, brought back the fucking lawnmower. I made $800 for the fucking day, plus tax and shit. I would hit the Westminster Mall, Boulder Mall, Longmont Mall. I would go all the way to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I would write where I went down. This is how fucking crafty I was. So I wouldn't go back
evidence,
for 2 places.
bro.
No evidence. I would just put 10, 15.
They could be doing anything.
Aurora. That's it.
Yeah,
you didn't know what it said.
Yeah, but then
meeting a
the
friend
cop-
for
the cop-
Not even quick.
meeting a
10,
friend
16.
for lunch.
That's Law and Order 101.
No, you're meeting a friend
if
for
you
lunch.
put
You could
Boulder Mall
Yeah,
at
yeah,
320, that's fucking. But if I just put mall, they don't know if I
Dude,
put
you could
Boulder.
say you had a job interview.
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
Like, I was there to...
So I would know where I would be the week before, so I wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
I would never go back. I had like a little calendar, and I just put like B's on it. I know Westminster,
Sure.
Aurora, fucking. I hit Arvada. I hit every mall that had a fucking Kmart, all the way in the state of Colorado. Then I would just start all over again, from Wyoming all the way to fuck down.
Did you have like a company list, or how did you find them? Or you just drove around?
I just drove around until I saw them all off the 70 or the I-25. You just got
Malls
to
are fucking everywhere.
Yeah, John Elwayville, all those villas in Denver I used to rob.
So wait, when you got arrested on your gig, did you make the next gig? Or?
I made the gig.
That's awesome.
They let me out on my own reconnaissance. I told them to suck my dick. There's still a warrant in Twin Falls, a misdemeanor warrant.
How long does that last?
Who the fuck knows?
That's
Who gives a
crazy.
fuck?
Yeah, fuck, you're never going to go back to Twin Falls.
I ain't fishing no more. My fishing days are over. You know what I'm saying? I got a warrant someday.
Oh, I have a lot of Idaho people very upset right now.
I ain't fucking going there, Jack. These people that want to go back and I'll sneak in, fuck you.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to fucking
There's
sneak
no reason,
back.
yeah.
It's funny because I'm trying to get a passport, but I want to know, or I'm not going to spend unnecessary money.
Yeah.
So the passport's the first thing. If these people fucking, it's all in, the paperwork's all in. These people approve me, fuck Seattle and fuck that warrant. I'll just go to Cuba.
Yeah.
If I could find a way to definitely enter Canada, like I got an attorney right now that's answering questions and you have to fill out a form and the exact gig, we're going to probably go to Calgary. If I could go there with that warrant not Now, if Canada goes, you could come in, but you got to take that warrant in Seattle. I'm going to take care of the warrant in Seattle.
Right.
The only travel I want to do right now is a passport to go to Cuba and maybe over to London to see my Irish buddies over there, maybe to Australia. But Canada is too strict. They're not going to let me in. They're going to break my fucking balls. What are you giggling about, Lee?
I'm just imagining, like, Calgary exploding right now. Just like the fact that you said that city, like.
Well, there's a comedy club up there that I work in Minneapolis, the House of... They have that.
How was that
Phoenix.
one? How was that one in Minneapolis?
The House, I love it.
Because I'm doing the one in Phoenix in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I love it. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I met him in Montreal.
It's
He's
the
a really
Mall
nice
of
dude.
America, man. You walk around.
Yeah.
I'll probably I'll do a couple things. I'm only there Thursday through Sunday.
great.
It's so weird. You stay in town. The only advantage I have of staying in town is that I get to see my family.
Sure.
The whole week. I get to hang out with Lee a little bit. But besides that, I got to tell you, I'm just becoming a professional workouter.
Yeah.
That's all I do is I'm a professional worker-outer. I did a kettlebell workout lately that would have made you fucking drool.
What do you do?
I did everything. I did 5 sets of squats, 5
Nice.
sets of cleans, 5 sets of one-arm curls, and then 5 sets of two-arm swings. So I
Shit,
did
yeah,
swings.
man.
Did you see the video he put up today?
No.
He put up a video of this guy doing one-arm swings with a 106 pound.
Oh, my God.
Who was this?
The guy who teaches us.
Oh, nice.
Yogi
Yogi
Steve. We go Tuesday morning. You should swing by.
All right,
What's wrong?
man. Yeah.
How's your back? You're all fucking...
It's way better.
See, you're all Jim
better.
Magooed out. What's going on with the ex-girlfriend? You see any more of the blonde?
Nah.
She's still at the bookstore. She took your job.
Dude, she fucking took the job. She took my dog. She took my cat. And now she fucked off and went to Ohio.
Oh, she went back?
And she didn't even have the pets anymore. That's fuck. That's what hurts the most. Is I miss my dog. I miss my cat.
She
Fuck
gave
her.
the cat and the dog away.
Yeah. You believe? No, she gave the dog to her fucking dad, who lives up in Cleveland. She went to Cincinnati, and then I think the cat is here with her old friend. It's like, man, fuck that, fucking crazy
Why'd she
shit.
go back to Cincinnati for? She didn't have it bad here.
Yeah, I know.
She was a young girl.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what happens, dude.
You over there hiding the fuck, stealing the fucking cradle, banging fucking young chicks and shit.
Hey, man, that's what you get, right? Like,
You know, so I can't believe you haven't been watching. That's your fucking. They were talking. That's your show. I was watching something the other day, and they talked a lot about Laredo.
Narcos.
Well,
That
no,
show
there was
Narcos?
something else I was watching. Drugs Inc.
Hmm.
And they were talking about how drugs come up, and the big port now is Laredo.
Oh,
It's more
yeah.
spread out. Everybody's fucked up in Laredo. They don't know what's what. The fucking gangs.
Dude, Laredo is, but it's always been that way. Like there was, my mom told me a story. There was a dude there who was like the mayor for like 40 years.
40?
Yeah, like how is this guy? That isn't possible. But yeah, like shit like that always happened. He's like this because that guy was a mayor when my mom was a kid. That guy was a fucking mayor. Like this. That's how shit happens down there. Like it's so fucking crazy, man. Like it's oh god. It was when I my uncle. He's not rich. He just had his own business. He worked hard, had his own business. He wasn't like rolling in cash, but just because he owned his own business, one day I was babysitting his 2 sons, my little cousins, right? We're just sitting there playing football in the yard, all that stupid shit, video games. And I get a phone call. He goes, "Hey, are you with the boys right now?" And I go, Yeah, why? He goes, "Just go inside if you don't mind." I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" Turns out that he just got a call saying, "Hey, we know where your kids are. We're going to go get them unless you give us 10 grand. Like we get phone calls like that all the time. And none of them it was all just people desperate trying to, but enough of that kidnapping shit happens that the people fall for it. I'm like, okay, dude, Laredo's a fucking crazy place. I mean, I love it. It's home, but man, it's
When you're close to those borders, Lee, you get some good fucking drugs.
oh man.
When I used to go to El Paso, oh my God, I used to be bouncing the fucking whole 5 days I was there. There was some coke. All you had to do was look at it. You got fucked up. What's up, Lee? Still recovering from that acid trip Monday night?
Bro, we had a 250. I thought about this.
What'd you think about, Lee?
I had a 250 milligram.
To soothe you in.
Hermanos.
To soothe you in.
I know. Still, smoked a joint, did a dab, and then took one of the strongest hits of acid I can imagine. It was crazy.
And he ate. And listen, sometimes you do a drug, an edible. Like there was an edible we did a couple weeks ago. But I went home. I said, okay, I'm hungry. You know,
Right.
I'm not going to overdo it.
Right.
Let me just eat an apple. And my wife gets a bunch of fruit.
Right.
And at night, I'll attack that first. And the fucking fruit. Like, sometimes you go home and there's, like, egg salad.
Sure.
And I'll get, like, four saltine crackers. And I'll eat a little bit of egg salad with 4 crackers. And I'm good for the night. I'll drink
not bad.
water. I'll drink a little coffee. I'll watch TV. This one night, I ate once I ate that banana and that apple, like, it set my appetite into, and people will not even.
You can't eat. If you eat, you fail.
You fail. You fail. And then, especially if you do edibles on a day of, like, kettlebells, and even when you're moving metal.
Right.
Like Monday, Lee and I went to jiu-jitsu, and I told Lee on the way home, I go, Lee, feel your legs. They're sweating. We worked out today. It's
Right.
100 degrees. You know, well, you're hungry. That's one hungry, but that's it. I did, like, today I did a good kettlebell workout. I know tonight,
You can be feeling
about 11:30. Oh my God, your appetite! You got to go to bed. You got to drink coffee and go to bed, like a cup of decaf.
Really?
to get you and go to bed, because anything after, like, by 11:20, I'm looking at my fingers. Like, maybe I should just bite one of my fucking. Like, you get so high, like 1 cent. Okay, I ate all the fruit. I
Right.
ate all the almonds. You know, because I got 100-calorie bags of almonds. Once I eat 3 of those, then that's it. If I eat 3 bags of almonds and I'm still fucking hungry, I start on the leftovers. And once I kill the leftovers, you know, like sometimes there's 3 different leftovers.
Yeah.
There's not enough for a meal, but if you eat the 3 leftovers together,
It's okay.
it's a meal.
Yeah,
Like,
I love those plates.
but I did one of those. I had to be 2 weeks ago, an edible kettlebell day. Fucking, I went home. I ate the fruit, the fucking the 3 leftovers. Then I started eyeballing the salami, the ham and cheese. My wife gets ham and cheese. I told her, stop with the fucking thin sliced ham and cheese. We had no bread at the house.
Okay.
We haven't had white bread in fucking months.
Dude,
Just
white bread is the devil, dude. White
thin
bread is
slice.
evil, bro.
Yeah, though, listen, when I'm stoned, again, I'll just take a tub out of butter.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit there with a knife and make white bread with butter. And I'll have 10 of
You
them.
could
dog.
toast it
a
too.
Now what's sad is that white bread is so bad for you, but white bread and butter is the best fucking snack on the fucking planet. Oh my God. It is. Oh.
It's just amazing late night how much
Yeah.
you eat. The other night when I went home on that acid, I went home.
Well, I got high off the weed first.
I called him, and we got really high outside.
Right.
By the time I went upstairs, my wife was awake, and the baby was awake.
Oh.
Then they weren't out. She was in the room. I could hear her in there. No, I'm not. You know,
I was gonna
saying,
say, tell her that story real quick because that was funny.
what?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Oh, she's a fucking trick. Those are the 2 favorite words. No, I'm not. No problem. No problem. Thank you. No problem.
That's great.
If you say thank you, she'll go, no problem. She'll just walk away and shit.
Dude, Mercy's a badass, dude.
Today, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to make hamburgers and fries. I'm going to bake these healthy French fries. I said, then the oven, the house is going to be 2,000 degrees. We're about to hit a heat storm here this week. It's going to be 100 tomorrow and
105,
on
they said.
Saturday.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
going to be fucking hot the next 2 days.
fuck.
We're sweating tomorrow morning, dog.
Oh yeah. Oh damn it.
But it's going to get cold again, they said. It's gonna
Next
get-
week.
Next week.
no
Yeah.
big night. Yeah, that's it. It's mid-October. The hottest month in California is September.
Yes.
That's what people do not realize.
They
The
never
hottest
get it.
month.
It's
and
not
the
August
first week
like
of
everywhere
October,
else.
like
Yeah.
tomorrow, and
Yeah.
that'll be it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, we're so spoiled out here. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Couple of more weeks of this shit is fine. You know, yeah.
But the other night, Lee said, I had a big problem when I was a kid. Like, I liked to trip. When I heard Ozzy Osbourne on Ferries Wear Boots, smoking and tripping is all that you do, I lost my fucking mind.
Right.
You know, what people don't realize is, okay, let's say, let's just fucking LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron takes a picture tonight, just us fucking around. LeBron
Right.
takes a picture of himself with a certain type of water, and he Instagrams, and he has 1 million followers.
Right.
10% of people are going to buy that water.
No
tonight.
question.
It just makes sense. Here's what you got to understand. When I was a kid, when I heard the Beatles, I didn't like the fucking Beatles. But when I heard that they went to India and did acid and came back and their music changed, okay, that was one thing. That was okay. That was one testimonial. Then I heard Hendrix used to put it on his band.
You like drunk yell.
and it would sweat through his fucking
Yeah.
headband into his eyeballs. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to quote
I've
this,
heard that too, though.
But
I've
I know
heard
he
that.
ate a lot of acid. Okay. And I listened to his music and I was like, God damn. Then there were like 3 other people who I know that talked about acid So acid always had a high testimonial with me. I knew eventually, once I loved reefer, like how much I really liked reefer,
Right.
there's a scene that I called Lee right away. The reason why I like this Narcos so much is because I think the guy's a great actor. You know what Pablo Escobar looks like. It's like this black kid that played James Brown. He did a great job as James Brown.
Yeah.
But this guy has something.
Oh, he's Escobar? That's who he's playing?
No.
Oh,
This
okay.
guy that's playing Escobar in Narcos is a Brazilian guy. And everybody knocks him for his Spanish.
Right.
Everybody who's Spanish, it's like when I went to see Scarface. I was a little insulted at first. Doesn't matter. It's Al Pacino. Who gives a fuck what he says?
Right.
I don't care if he fucks up the words. It's a movie. This guy, it's not that he's created this. He's such a great actor. Like I told Lee, if this guy was English or Australian, everybody would know about
Right,
Narcos.
of
Oh my
course.
God, he's so good. But he's a fucking
Cover of
half a
every
spick.
magazine.
Right, he's a half a spick.
So fuck him.
He's not
Yeah.
that good looking. He's skinny, but he plays fat.
Yeah.
Sometimes he goes like this with his stomach and he puts his sneakers on and he walks around and he plays fat. But the beginning of episode
Wagner Mora.
the beginning of episode 8 and 9, he's at the jail. It's called La Cathedral.
Okay.
La Cathedral.
Yeah.
And it opens up with him looking at a truck getting unloaded. And you see it going into the port, and they're like, what is it? And the guy's like, it's sheets, it's plumbing materials, it's uniforms for the guards. Okay. Guy passes it through. He pulls into the jail. They open up the back. It's fucking filled with chicks, bags of blow, fucking fish tanks filled with lobsters. You know, a gambling casino.
Sure.
People, the guards are gambling, the gambling casinos. And people are yelling and screaming. The women are going into the casino. They're playing cards. He's upstairs. He's ahead of the fucking game. He's looking at the mountains. He's looking at what's going on. He's hearing what's going on. And all of a sudden, you see this thing in the picture that's going like this. It's a pot plant. The wind's blowing it. Right. He looks at the pot plant. So here in a fucking jail, like, you just unloaded casino material, chicks. They just unloaded a party in anybody's world. In a prison. You're supposed to be in jail.
Right.
But to top it off, you're growing weed, the best weed in the world. He looks at the plant. He walks over to it. You see him scrape through the fucking leaves. There's a bud hanging there. Doug, he gets the bud and he goes, and he closes his eyes. And while I'm looking at him, like, only I would do something like that. Like he's in heaven. He's sniffing that bud. They're all downstairs with broads and whatever. He sniffs it. He looks at it. He clips it. And he puts it in his top pocket and he walks down.
Oh,
and that's the whole scene. It's a 6-minute scene of him just inhaling the weed, you know.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a testimonial. Like this guy.
Yeah.
I loved that whole. So the first time I did acid, I was like, I don't remember when or with who. I don't remember. I know I liked it because it took my mind somewhere else.
Sure.
And I was telling Lee that night. When I got up the next morning, I hit Lee with 22 fucking ideas. Acid is basically putting you in a room with no. Let me tell you something, guys. You really want to write really good comedy? Wake up, get a cup of coffee or whatever you do in the morning. Don't turn nothing on.
Right.
Don't get stimulated by anything. No stimulation. Sit there for 2 hours with a pen and a piece of paper. Have your coffee. Let the coffee stimulate you a little bit. If you want to smoke a half a joint, maybe take 2 puffs of a cigarette. Whatever you do. No stimulation from television, magazines, no thoughts shoved into your mind. No commercials, nothing. Sit there for an hour and watch where your mind will go. Do that for 8 hours, which is unheard of. But when you're in prison, that's what happens. That's why they put you in solitude. Because your mind goes somewhere else. You get to a different level with your mind on your own terms. When you do acid, if it's really good acid, it'll break you down, you know? Wow. And Lee was like, how many times did you do that growing up? I go, after my mother died, I was so confused.
Sure.
It didn't really matter what I felt like. The acid would make me normal.
Right.
The acid, I would go home at night and put on Sabotage, and that would give me the answer to all my problems. If I listened to Sabotage, The Hole in the Sky, I would be fine after. I'd go to sleep like a fucking champion. The next day, I'd be energetic. All my mind was on cylinders. That's what acid is for me, and it always has been. Over the years, I haven't been that high like that way in 15 years. No, 85 was the real last time I really, really, really got fucking baked on acid like Jesus. I was seeing things and lights. The other night, I didn't get to that level, but with another hit, I would have gone right over the fucking thing.
Does acid have like a little bit of, not speed, but like...
Yeah, rat poison.
Oh my God, what?
Rat poison.
Whoa.
That's what gets you all fucking amped.
Yeah, because like it was crazy, man. I texted you at 5 in the morning to get
you up?
breakfast.
Oh no, I was done already.
Like,
and you wouldn't have been able to eat because once you go to get the breakfast, the acid kicks back up because we would have smoked a joint. See, I keep the acid coming back with joints. That's why I said to you Sunday night we were all 15 fucking joints.
Well, you didn't give me any. So.
I gave you one that
No,
we
you
smoked
didn't.
one that night. We did.
Yeah,
the
but
dabs.
I needed one. I needed one at 5 in the morning. I organized my fucking bathroom. It was crazy. It was like the letters were moving on my phone. It was. I was just sitting there giggling about myself.
He wouldn't fucking answer the phone. I finally went to bed. I think at 1:15.
Right.
I was so fucking high, and I was laying on this side, and I could feel my heart beating on the. Because once you start thinking about it, so once I flipped over, I didn't want my wife to feel my heart beating. But once I flipped over, I was fine. I went right to bed. I got up a couple times. Like I woke up thinking, I can't believe I fell asleep. You have those acid dreams and shit like that.
That's crazy.
I tried to jack off to like go to bed and it wouldn't work.
No, you can't whack off on that. That's no sex on that shit.
Oh Jesus.
The sex is good if you were the freak that's on acid and she's working your horn and she's putting fingers up your ass.
And I took a lot of shits. Do you shit a lot on acid?
No, that was the speed.
Or maybe it was the Subway because that.
Yeah, well, the Subway too. That's disgusting. You make that fucking. Who would go to the Subway on acid? Only this fucking Jamal.
No, because I was high from the edible and I didn't have dinner, so I just went and got a turkey sub.
A turkey fucking sub. That's what made you shit. Don't blame it on the acid.
Checking.
But it lit that acid. See, when you went to eat, I was like, that's it. He's gonna go to bed. And then I drank coffee. I did something, and all of a sudden I was off and running. I'm like, oh my God, I am fucking blasted. This cannot be. And I did a periscope. I was giggling. I went outside and I smoked. And when I almost fell down the stairs. Did I tell you that on the acid?
No.
I was an inch from falling down the fucking my front stairs. I went to pop up, and I'm like, oh shit! And I had to put my weight down and almost fell. I fell over the kettlebell. My wife left outside.
I had really like dark thoughts. It was weird.
What kind of dark thoughts did you have?
I felt bad for a minute, like for dating Paula. Like I was like, she could have like a lawyer boyfriend or something like that, and not have to deal with like this craziness and like the crazy people on Twitter and like weird stuff like that. And then I was like thinking about just me doing acid. It's weird for me, man. Like. You did all this stuff as a kid. I didn't.
Did you ever dream of doing acid? Not even
this
close.
was told from like 5th grade. They had Dare.
Did you put music on that night?
Nah, no.
No, next time we'll bring in music in
There you
there.
go.
Yeah.
We're going to darken it, get some candles. Sunday night we're doing an acid fucking podcast.
Oh, nice.
Me,
All right.
Ari, and Leah popping 2
Nice.
hits. We got Anarchy Edibles
One hit.
sponsoring the podcast.
That's great.
We got fucking some reefer. We're going to roll a few joints. And then
Someone's gonna fall down those stairs. We
No.
might have to bring like an aerolizer in here or something.
No, we'll smoke in here. Let me give some shout outs real quick here. My man Harry, who came to the Storyteller show, is not happening. He got there late. He knows I love him. Mike Roulette, Ryan Murphy, Rob Lawler, Sergeant Cassidy over there fucking holding it down. Ricky Neb 2, Wilfredo Disler, Amy, my buddy, One by One Podcast, and Nolan E3. Couple shout outs for you fucking savages and shit out there in Podcastville. Look at you, little scarf cocksucker.
I love it.
It was you guys like music, and we were talking about the beat. Like, it's 2015. The Beatles broke up in 71 or something like that. So,
Not even, yeah.
you know, when I was growing up, everybody wouldn't shut the fuck up about the Beatles.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't shut the fuck up. They would not shut the fuck up. The Beatles are getting back together, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, fucking Paul McCartney's writing some monsters. He wrote monsters in the 70s. And John Lennon's firing at him. And George Harrison wrote 33 and a third. Ringo Starr's just Ringo Starr. He's somewhere jumping up and
Right.
down trying to put an all-star band together with a bunch of fucking addicts and shit. And they got to cancel the tour 12 dates in. Nobody's showing up no more. Ringo, we thought it was a joke, dog. We don't want to play with you. You're a fucking joke. But it was
Oh, Ringo.
it was really weird how people had hope. And somebody had put, the kids I hung out with hated two people in Jersey. In high school, I hung out with these guys and they hated two bands. The Beatles. To hang out with these guys, you had to hate two bands, the Beatles and Bruce Springsteen. Like, Bruce Springsteen came out of the party, you had to leave or break the fucking record player. Like, that's it. Like, you had to fucking do something to the record
You
player.
couldn't be around the music?
No, we were not allowed to music. I did not even consider. I had one friend I did
Dude,
coke
10th
with.
Avenue Freeze Out is a fucking
That's my jam. That's my
a
jam. That's my
dude.
jam. That's the only jam I listen to. It was on Today Live. It was on Today Live, and it was pretty impressive how he did it. He introduced the band before
Yeah.
he did it. Pretty fucking cool. But I'll never forget that John Lennon got shot on a Monday night.
Monday Night Football.
And
Howard Cosell.
Tuesday night, I'm walking into school, and that portrait of the Beatles,
Right.
somebody had already put an X on John Lennon. That's how much they hated the Beatles, the dudes I lived with. We walked by, and they're like, look at that. They already put an
that's
X on
great.
his head. We were fucking dying.
1 down, 3 to go.
One down, 3 to fucking go. It's not that I hated the Beatles. It's that the kids that wore the Beatles as
You
a
got
badge
sick of them.
honor,
Yeah.
I got sick of those motherfuckers. It wasn't until 1983, till I went to Aspen, that there was a bunch of Beatle albums. The guys that, in the daytime, if you're here, you could play music. I was
Right.
there by myself. And, Elevation, smoking weed. You
Right.
got to put music on to settle you. And that was Rubber Soul. I started getting into those.
Oh,
And
best, dude.
Sergeant Pepper's, and that's when I learned about the Beatles, sitting there by myself. I really learned a lot about them without nobody forcing them down my throat.
Right.
I broke down the music by myself and said, this is fucking brilliant. Then I listened to all the Paul McCartney stuff, and the John Lennon stuff, and, Woman is the Nigger of the World. I mean, he's got some fucking crazy shit, John Lennon. And I didn't get into it as much as I thought, but it was very interesting. Like, there's bands to me that people say, oh my God, and you bring it home and this is garbage. It's just some guy, The Beatles was something for me that was an education later on. I'm happy I didn't get into the Beatles when I was 16. I'm happy I got into them when I was in my 20s. And then again, like in 80, before I got locked up, I got into I hated those early shit. Love Me Do. All
Wanna
that
Hold Your
nonsense.
Hand.
No, none of that shit works in my world. I like the craziness. I like Let It Be.
Which starts with Revolver and Rubber Soul. Those two, when
Revolver
they
and
get,
Rubber
when they're like,
Soul.
fuck
It's
it.
just brilliant shit.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't know at that time. It's really weird if you're young, you listen to the podcast, you like a certain type of music, and right now you're saying that other music sucks. 10 years from now, you're not going to feel like that.
Yeah.
Your music catalog is going to expand, and people are going to giggle at you and shit. You don't give a fuck. Then it's going to expand again. Then it's going to expand again. I remember going from heavy metal to Sade and going, what the fuck is going on? Like, I
Right.
bought the first 2 Sade albums.
Those are
brilliant.
good.
Brilliant.
Those
in
are
85.
great fucking
brilliant.
records, man.
Just amazing music, and people go, I can't believe you have Sade on. Listen to the first 2 albums, dog. Sade will knock your fucking socks off, I remember buying Rick James. I remember buying all different type of fucking music.
My dad
The
was
Dead.
like that. He would listen to he had me listen to everything. The Beatles one day, the Who the next, Metallica. He's the one who called me up and told me about grunge when I was a kid, because you got to hear this shit, man. Like, he fucking, all that shit he would listen. From, the Beatles to like that fucking acid jazz type Mahavishnu, progressive jazz shit, like all that stuff, dude. You just listen to everything. And you can, if you really love music, you can appreciate what's great about every facet of it, like any type of genre, anything. It's oh man. And the Beatles at one point, you were talking about their solo shit. I'm still not convinced that they weren't still writing with each other, even though they'd broken up and were talking all this shit, because their solo shit is still so fucking good. You know what I mean? That I'm like, if it finds out 10 years from now, oh, by the way, yeah, we were all writing each other's shit too back then, like, I would believe it.
If you guys like music, and we all do, we really enjoy music.
That's how you and I bonded, was Chinese food and music.
If you really like music, I wish that I had it very special music-wise. Like, I was very fortunate. People always talk about time machines.
Oh, man.
This fucking Momo. He was just looking at me like fucking cross-eyed. People always talk to me about music in different eras. And yeah, I'm an old man and I'm out of touch. And I gotta tell you something, man. If I could do it all over again, if I could go to a time machine, I'd want to get dropped in 1971.
I was about to say 71 or 72.
Straight to 1980. Straight to when John Bonham died.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. That was the end of it all right there.
Right.
And then Ozzy Osbourne came and all that stuff with the heavy metal. But I'm talking about when Paul McCartney was dueling Elton John, when Elton John ran this country. And we've had this discussion not with you on the podcast before. You know, I think I was on Joe's one time. We're talking about when Elton John ran this country, which was 72 to 77.
It was a
he
stretch,
ran this
dude.
country,
Yeah,
and
man.
then he was running things. But then Paul McCartney would show up with Band on the Run and fucking all Love Me Do songs and all this shit. Then John Lennon showed up with Imagine, and we're still not talking about what Led Zeppelin and UFO and the Stones were doing, and
The Schenker Brothers.
and the fucking Pink Floyd was doing in '75. We're not even talking about all this. I watched that show, The '70s, on CNN.
Right.
They did specials with Tom Hanks, produced them. In 1973, this country spent $2 billion on concert tickets. Wow. And if you look at, just tonight, go home and Google, who was on tour in 1973?
Everybody.
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 Heart was on tour. Everybody was on fucking tour. I mean, that was the big thing. You went to see everybody, and nobody got off fucking tour.
Right.
All these bands, The Who, everybody toured every 2 or 3 years. The Stones came, 71, 73, 75. Don't quote me on that. But it was such a different fucking time. And no matter, some people like the Elvis era. Some people say that Elvis era. I don't like the early Stones, the early Beatles, or even the early Stones as much.
Yeah.
There's a part where the Stones where they pick up and they just blow my fucking doors off.
Yeah, man. You know what? My favorite Stones is Some Girls, which is a lot of people don't like it, but I fucking love Miss You.
One. Yeah, that's the one.
Miss You. Oh, come on.
That was my freshman year, dog. That shit took me apart.
Some Girls is the shit.
That
dude.
shit
That's
took me apart. That album was taking motherfuckers apart. If you watch the beginning of At Close Range, after Sean Penn has the beef, they fucking do that song, and it takes you right when you do the soundtrack to your life. You think of those summers. You think of every summer. Like the biggest summer for me was, Peter Frampton Comes Alive.
Yeah.
Right? Jesus Christ, that was the summer of '76. No matter where you went, I still remember the summer when it was, hey, hey. My, battle, battle, rock and roll will never die.
That is the shit.
Battle. This is your biography. These are things that the footnotes. This is what you remember. Whenever you're watching a movie and they go back and they flash back, what's the first thing they drop on you?
The music.
The music to bring you right back there. Boom, 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 bam, 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 bam.
That's still the shit.
That's still the
Spencer Dave, 16-year-old Steve Winwood. He was 16 singing that fucking song. That's what's crazy. He's 60. Imagine being 16 years old and singing the way he sang in that fucking song. That is crazy.
That song on, dog.
Steve Winwood. Oh, was it? Spencer Davis Group. Give me some loving. That's
Give me some
shit,
love.
man.
That is a fucking.
He's
monster.
fucking 16 years old.
They said he sounded like a Ray Charles. I read something once, and they were like, he drove people crazy. That jam, when I was a little boy. What year did that come out, Lee? See what year that came out in.
Spencer Davis Group. I'm gonna say 67. And I'm so
Well,
glad
this
you
Wikipedia
made
says 2013, but that's not real.
I put the song on, God damn it. Don't worry about Wikipedia lying to us and shit. God damn it, fucking Wikipedia.
That fucking opening, man. Forget it.
I want to give a shout out to Michael and Marcy Johnson. Send me a little package from my daughter, some bows. They're up there in the Bay Area serving all of California. Sierra Realty, 925-628. Michael and Marcy Johnson. Thank you for the present from my daughter. It's beautiful. Hit it, Lee. This is the best part.
With that organ.
I was a little kid. I thought I was a surfer. Kill it, Lee. There used to be a Bartles and James commercial.
With this?
With this. In 1988, 1987.
Fuck yeah, man.
It was fucking tremendous. They showed like a big Hawaiian cutting a pineapple. And as soon as he cuts the pineapple and it falls, you hear boom, 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 boom. And they go 19-something. Some Hawaiians thought, how cool would it be if they added fruit to wine and it became the fruit cooler and shit.
Oh, that's great. Dude, that song still is the jam of all jams. It's fucking amazing.
How long have you been doing comedy?
Golly, 1995. Winter of 1995.
So 20 years.
20 years now.
Congratulations on your
man.
special.
Thank you,
when I
buddy.
saw it, I wanted to call you, and then I said, you know what?
Thanks, man.
He's trying to promote it. And,
I appreciate it. It means a lot, dude. It means the world.
oh,
man.
my
Thank
God.
you.
I know how hard you've worked. I know
Well,
how
thanks,
hard
buddy.
you've worked, and it's very, for a hard time, you were getting stroked in this business.
Yeah.
People sign you, talk to you, and then they disappear.
Right.
It's a fucking mind fuck, and you got some people that believe in you, and, you know, thank God for Gabriel for putting you on. Gabriel is
He's such a saint, dude. He's just...
Listen, man, successful people like that know they have to pass the buck, and
Right.
And Gabriel has a great attitude for work, and I'm happy you got together.
Thank
with
you,
him. I mean,
buddy.
he helped Steve Simone. He helped
Oh,
you.
yeah,
He
man.
put, he fought for me for the Comedy Central spot. You know, these are the type of guys that'll work forever because
They're great people.
they're just great people. And I mean, I got to hand it to you because you've worked hard. You've been through the ups and downs.
Thanks, man.
You've been fighting for fucking years, duking it out,
Yeah.
flying back, crazy girlfriends, you know, the jersey, but the photographer, she took a picture of your dick, and then she didn't want to leave you alone. Then you got this little blonde that was 20 with long legs. You shoved the tongue up her ass, and she couldn't take it no more. She's going back to Ohio. See, I can't take this no more. These Mexicans freaking me out, putting tongues in my ass and whipping me at night. I'm just a simple girl. I just want to suck a dick from time to time and watch cartoons and maybe play with a fucking little superhero. Jerry's got me sucking his dick bent over. Jerry's a little dirty freak, dog. You know, that's
man.
what happens. He plows through these freaks. In about a year, you'll see Jerry, no more bracelets. She took everything. The bracelets, the Indian fucking scarf, the little Christian chain. And he's back on Laurel Canyon solo. His little fucking studio apartment over there. How many bitches have gone? You don't even have windows over there. You just kill them and throw them out and shit. How long you been with this?
About a year. About a year.
And you're
Yeah.
in love? That's it?
Oh, she's great. Yeah,
What's she
man.
do for a living?
Nothing yet. She just moved out here, so she's gonna
From
figure
where?
that out. Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
She got a drug problem? Nothing like that? Everything cool?
She loves smoking weed. I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
bro, who
Yeah,
don't? You know,
Yeah.
only this fucking Jamo. You want to smoke some more hash?
No, not
Let's
really.
let's finish this little weed I got. And we'll put a little hashish before you go home. I don't want to send you home all straight and shit.
I'm not straight, bro.
You sure?
Ah,
You sure you
that's
gonna...
not a quote I want out on the internet.
You what?
That's not a quote I want on the internet.
Look at the shape of you.
It's
And you only ate 100 milligrams, and that's all we ate.
liar.
Nice.
I ate like 700, I'm sure.
700.
At least 3 or 4.
You weighed 100.
Yeah, right.
You ate 100 milligrams. Those are
Okay.
250s. That's it. You ate 150 milligrams.
Sure. Whatever you say.
You want to smoke some more hash?
No.
You want to snort an alpha brain? Let's snort an alpha brain.
I'm not snorting shit.
All right. Then go fuck
I
yourself.
sneeze.
No, I'm very proud of you,
shit.
Jerry.
Thank
That's
you
why
so
I want
much,
to have you
man.
on tonight because
Really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
people think there's no timeline on an art.
No.
There's no timeline on an art. And as long as you go in, if you're getting into comedy and you're going, after 6 years, if I don't make it, I'm quitting. Fuck Joey Diaz. Listen, man, 6 years is when you start to understand the game a little bit.
Yep.
As much as you think you're fucking Milton Berle, you don't know dick. You don't know dick at 6 years. And at 10 years, you don't really know dick. Again, you think like, I got this. You don't really know dick. You know, you start really putting it together at 16.
Right.
And then you really start getting good. I mean, Burr's been around for fucking years. Nobody knew that. Sebastian's been around for 15 fucking years. Ralphie's been around for 25 fucking years. You know, Dane Cook's been around for 20 fucking years. You know, you just think these people came out of
Out of nowhere. Never
out
like
of nowhere. It's never like that. So But again, you know, whether you're a guitar player, a fucking drummer, you want to be a sound tech, a producer, these are all the ingredients that go into this. It's time, patience. You got to live in a studio apartment. You got to run through fucking women and throw them out from time to time. Sometimes they take your cat, you know. Sometimes they take your dog. I went through that shit. They took my dog twice. Those motherfucking women.
Fucking savage, evil. Oh, you gave me the best advice ever, though.
What happened?
I'll never forget this. We were talking about that, like how, you know, how you basically said there's no timetable. This is years ago we were talking about this, and you said, as long as you're still going up at night and doing comedy in L.A., you're in the fight. You're in it. You're swinging. That's all that matters. You want to be up there swinging, and that's all that matters. Like, if you can continue to do that. And that's, I think the difference is a lot of people, when they don't have that all, it didn't happen for me in 6 years, they leave. Or they quit, or they walk away, and it's like, well,
You didn't let the miracle happen.
right?
You didn't believe in the miracle. You
Right.
didn't believe in yourself, which is
Yep.
the fucking biggest thing. Before the work, before quitting your job, before
Yeah.
telling your mom to suck your dick, and moving out of the basement, before all these things. What makes you do all these things with confidence
Yeah.
is the belief. It's when I go to my best friend Lee and I go, I quit my job today.
Right.
And Lee's like, how'd you fucking do it, man? And, aren't you worried? And you look at Lee and you go, no, it's all going to work out. You know, I was
Yeah.
talking to a friend of mine, he's paying $5,000 a month for rent.
Ugh.
Where?
It doesn't matter. And I go, how are you making that nut? He goes, believe it or not, the first month I had a hard time, and a guy called me from 10 years ago for a writing job. We picked up a year
Boom.
on a book, and it's going to cover the fucking rent and the spread and everything for a year and a
Fucking
half, and I'll
great.
find something else.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to put yourself in that position.
You know,
Before something happens, you need $3,000 a month. All of a sudden, you start making $3,000.
You figure out how to do
All of
it.
a sudden, you put $6,000 up. All of a sudden, you start figuring out how to make fucking
Yep.
$6,000. It's very,
it's true.
I don't know how to even describe it. It's a certain belief that you have to have in yourself to get into any of this shit. Whether you go to vocational school to become a plumber, nobody becomes
Whatever.
a plumber overnight.
No.
Nobody becomes an electrician overnight.
A mechanic,
Nobody
none of
becomes
that
a
shit.
mechanic overnight. Look at the shape of this fucking.
Well, how exciting is it? Like when you start like noticing you're making money. Like
I don't even think it's for me because I still don't make, you know, I'm not like rolling in dough or anything like that. But you know what it is? What's exciting is when you know you're getting better. Like that's what's awesome is when you all of a sudden when you start finishing shows, you're like, holy shit, like fuck, man, that was like way better. For me, it happened about 7 years in. I don't know if you remember that feeling that you get after when all of a sudden, you know, you would always do okay. That's why you kept doing it. But then one night, you just destroy and like everything works, right? And those are rare sets. But when you know I'm talking about those nights where it doesn't matter what, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, I just did that. Like shit, that's the best feeling. That's better than any paycheck you're gonna get. But it's just that moment when you start realizing I'm actually good at, like I'm actually getting good at this. I actually know how to do this. Like that's the fucking untouchable feeling.
One of my biggest highlights, I started in 91. And from 91 to 93, I was that guy that always had a card. I'm a
Sure.
comedian, but I would cancel every gig. When I was in New York, I'd stop in Harlem and get a bag of Coke and do a line and not show up at the gig. And I really wasn't. But when I realized the work that had to go into it, I said, okay, now it's time to roll up my sleeves.
Right.
For me to do this professionally
Yeah.
and to make a living. And I got to tell you what my first highlight was, and it had nothing to do with money. So I was going through hell. I'm going through hell with my ex-wife. I'm living on the fucking floor.
Right.
You know, my job sucks. I'm not making child support. My child support's $700. I'm coming up with $550. You know, it's just a horrible time in my fucking life. And I'll never forget Jimmy Abeda called me up one day and he goes, hey man, I got this bar, it pays $50. Why don't you come do 15 minutes? And I'm like sweating like 15 minutes. Like that was fucking, but I had something, you know, what I had early on, bro, that I could improvise. Like
That's
when
the
I first
best. That's the
start-
hardest thing to do. And if you can do that, oh man, it's
When
the
I
best.
first started comedy, I refused to write material.
Right.
like crowd work.
Crowd work and improvise. And
Yeah.
just go up there and talk shit. And I'll never forget, we went to some bar one night. You know, for me now, I would go in there and go, Jesus Christ. But then, you know, you're a superstar. I'm going to Pocatello. I don't give a
Fucking
fuck.
A, man.
Where you going next week? I'm going to New York. Where you going? Pocatello, bitch. Fuck New York.
Well, I think that's maybe more what I meant. Not necessarily money, but like when you started booking more and more gigs.
No. But here's the moment that killed me. We were at this bar on a Wednesday night. Jimmy Better goes, go up there and do 20 minutes. And I went up there, and, usually I would be on a fucking stopwatch.
Right.
3 minutes, in those
done.
days,
Right.
I'm done. It's like when I go to jiu-jitsu the first 2 years, I would try to avoid sparring. Okay, I gotta go. Just technique and shit. And one night, I did really well. And they finally gave me the light. And when I got off, 4 comics were waiting for me, like young guys that I came up with. And they were high-fiving me. That was fucking great. And Jimmy Beta comes on and he goes, bro, you did 38 minutes.
Isn't that the best?
And I go, no, I didn't. He goes, yes, you did. He goes, I was outside getting high. I forgot to give you the light.
Wow.
And I'll never forget getting in my car. And that, to me, was the highest moment of my comedy fucking career.
When you do a set, like you said, let's say you're supposed to do 20, and you do like 25, 30, so 38, right? And you destroy, and then you get off stage, and you didn't even get to tell like 5 jokes that you were hoping. You know what I mean? That's the best feeling.
I remember going home, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. In those days, there was a comedy newspaper, and in the back of it, it had all the top clubs in the country.
Okay.
It had every club in the country, just for laughs. But there was also a Judy Carter book that I had.
Sure.
And it had, all the agencies in L.A. And I remember that night I went home and circled the agencies. Like I was ready. Like,
I'm calling these
Agency of the
motherfuckers.
Performing Arts, you're getting a call from me tomorrow. I did 38 minutes at Ringo's 8-Ball Inn last night over in fucking Westminster, Colorado. Like, I thought I was the shit. But that moment, like, the money for me,
Never really matters.
I knew when I got in there, I eliminated the money from my mind. I did that going in because I didn't want to have no inclinations that I was going to make money.
Absolutely.
The first time I made real money doing comedy was 9 years in, 8 years in. I booked a Taco Bell commercial, and I must have made a small fucking fortune, $100,000 in 8 months. So
That's great.
I made 80-something, $60,000, like from August. No, I made $80,000 from August to December.
Nice.
With a Taco Bell commercial at the beginning because they didn't know the dog was going to get hot. So they kept playing it during the World Series. A-spots, A-spots, A-spots. I'm in Clark, Tennessee, making fucking A-spots. Because A-spots, what people don't know, when you get like a rotation, like you have cable. Cable will pay you like $3,000 for 90 days unlimited. So that's why when you have cable, like the pay channels, you see your commercial 20 times. The real one, CBS, ABC, Fox, when your show comes on at 8 o'clock, shit. Once that commercial comes on at 8 o'clock, shit, that's when you buy the whole bar around. Give everybody a rent. And if you see that commercial again at 8:35, give everybody another fucking because I just made like $3,000. You really do.
That's amazing.
They put you on an A rotation, so the first commercial's $750, the second one's $1,000, $1,250, $1,500. So if your commercial hits 4 times in 2 hours, you made $3,000 fucking dollars.
Damn.
And when they use the cycle, it starts all over again.
Fuck, dude.
And all of a sudden, you're getting checks from December 8th to December 18th. You made like $6,200.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Dude, that's so badass.
I'm
man.
surprised more comedians don't do that. Because commercial, you can make so much money from commercials.
And listen,
It's tough,
Ari
though,
started his fortune with commercials.
Yeah.
Ari Shafir.
He was in a ton of them. I remember that.
He did.
He was great in them, too.
They would get mad at him if he left town. Like when he would work with Rogan, they'd call him up. Don't get on that plane because they'd find him something. That's how good Ari was.
Yeah, Ari was great.
There was maybe 4 people that one year. There's a black guy that books all the commercials.
Right.
He's the highest paid commercial guy.
Yep.
Ari was like number 9 one year.
Yeah.
He booked the Kia commercial. First off, let me give some fucking things so we get the fuck out of here. On it. The best. You understand me? The best. Today, when I do those heavy kettlebell workouts, always a little fucking Shroom Tech on, little Shroom Tech Sport. As soon as I get in, a little hemp protein, a little cocoa, 2 scoops, some water, some ice cubes, maybe a banana today. I put some raspberries in that motherfucker. Tremendous. Go to onit.com right now. Look at the great list of supplements that they have from Alpha Brain, a complete 100% money back guarantee. We don't want the product. Complete earth-grown nootropic. From Alpha Brain to Hemp Force Protein, all their products are tremendous. Go to onit.com right now and press in.
George.
And get 10% off your first order sent directly to your house. If you want them sent to your house on a monthly level, go on the Stay On It program. They'll just keep sending you shit every fucking 30 days to your mailbox. You don't even have to leave the house. You don't have to go to Whole Foods, anywhere where they sell On It. Number 2, let me explain something to you. We all know how sexy confidence can be, right? And that confidence comes from being comfortable. How great you feel as underwear is wrinkling and right. How good would you feel, right? If you got underwear crippling up your asshole, right? If it's clipping under your nutsack. MeUndies gets it, and that's why they've created the world's most comfortable fucking underwear for a daily dose of confidence. You wear underwear every goddamn day, 365 days a year, all right? You need it to be extraordinary with that insane price tag. MeUndies understand it, and that's why they created the world's most comfortable fucking underwear. I wear them when I fucking work out. I hate wearing underwear with jeans. I like going commando, okay? But if I go to work out, I don't like my nutsack popping out of the fucking shorts. That's a nightmare out of my underwear. MeUndies is the only pair of underwears that's controlled. Their elastic is tremendous. MeUndies is made from Modal, a fabric that's twice as soft as cotton. That's twice as soft as whatever underwear you're wearing right now. So do me a favor, right? MeUndies has tons of colors, tons of styles, and the only place that you get a matching for women and men. They got a great clothesline for women also. It's not just not for men. And they even release a new design every month. They sent me some new long underwears. I might have to fucking wear the jiu-jitsu just to fuck with these motherfuckers. I wear the nice little camouflage underwear. I got the complete black one so there's no skid marks. So, listen, we know that shipping for paying for shipping sucks. So MeUndies has removed that from the equation. All orders in the U.S. and Canada, they ship for free. So do me a favor. Go to MeUndies right now. We're offering you 20% off your first order at MeUndies.com/Joey. That's right. A special offer for my listeners. Go to MeUndies.com/Joey and get 20% off and free shipping. Make sure you go to MeUndies.com and get 20% off your first order and tell them I sent you, all right? Who's better than me? Also, to the best people I know, to Peter and David over at NailedItLife.com. We got fucked up the other night with those dabs. They got everything. They got pipes. They got sticks to put the dab in. They got gloves to put onto the fucking things. You can hold on to the stick to put the dabs in. They got a tremendous vapor pen. That's what
They
they're
just
special
walk around with a torch.
Oh, my God. They walk around with a torch, edibles. They got fucking everything. Go to NailedItLife.com and press in.
Joey Diaz.
Boom. And get how much? 20% off your first order. The best fucking vapor pen working today. All right? That's all I got for you. One more time, another shout out to MeUndies.com right now. 20% off and free shipping. Onit.com/Joey. Get 10% off your first order.
Onit.com church.
Onit.com church and get 10% off. And you got Nailed It Life. All right. How about a little, what do you want to close it? Elton John or
Oh, man.
Or Band on the Run?
Band on the Run,
let's go
dude.
Band on
You
the
don't
Run.
want to do Motley? You don't want to do, what is it?
Oh, yeah, the original one. Go ahead.
Motley Crue.
I'll see you guys Sunday night. Listen, I don't know what you're doing Sunday night. We're dropping some Sid. Ari's coming by. We're going to have celebrity guests coming in all fucking night. We got some chick coming in. We might be here from 8 to like 3 or 4 in the morning. So get ready for a long night. If I was you, I wouldn't even go into work fucking Monday. Calling sick. Get a hit of acid, get some heroin. We're going to have a fucking intercontinental.
Don't get heroin.
Thanks
We're
for
gonna have
having
an
me.
intercontinental show. When does the special come out, my
October
brother?
17th.
On Fuse.
Fuse,
Fuse.
the gentleman Jerry Rocha. Check it out. Thanks for having me, bro. I
Oh,
really
brother,
mean it,
I'm
man.
very
Thank
proud of you
Thanks,
from the
buddy.
bottom of my heart.
Thank
you
you,
stuck
man.
it out. You
Thank
didn't
you.
go back to Texas like the rest of these jamokes. You fucking got balls of steel, my
Thanks,
brother.
man.
Thank you for being a man.
Of course. Thank you.
What's up with you, cocklicker? What are you doing this weekend? I what?
I don't know what I'm doing this weekend, but I had your buddy Diaz on my podcast today.
Very nice. What do you want me to do? Jump up and down and shit? Close
No,
the
I
fucking-
can't tell people about where you're
Oh,
gonna
I
be.
didn't know it. I'm not going to be nowhere. Next week, I'm in Minneapolis at the House of Comedy on the 15th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the week after that, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with Dick Syatt. We're going to hang out
He's so
Friday night.
excited.
Oh, we're bringing Stars of Death. We're doing everything. I called the chick yesterday. She says, I'll suck his dick. So we're going to get your dad's pipe sucked real good. Little Cuban chick.
My dad's a nice Jewish guy, and he watches all of Joey's stuff. So he calls me today. He's like, "Oh, I watch all of Joey's stuff, and I want to talk to him about it. But every time I see him, he gets me so messed up on the edibles, I can't talk."
That's 'cause he's a fucking soldier, not like people we
That's
know.
great.
You want a little bit of hash?
No,
How come?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't want you to talk shit about me. I love you guys. See you Sunday night, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, fucking East Coast. That!